The community of Roblox Grow a Garden loves the candy blossom fruit as it is literally the best fruit inside of the game. This thing is valued at an insane price and you can no longer get access to it. But in this video, I worked with an admin named Brighter to actually get candy blossom seeds and to grow every single mutation on the candy blossom, including secret admin ones. Watch until the end of this video to find out the value of the best candy blossom that was ever grown inside of Roblox Grow a Garden. But first off, you know what? I've been noticing that every time I'm in this plot or this plot, those event mutations hardly hit, and it seems like they always target the middle plots or the very far end plots. So my first goal getting started is to actually get some alt accounts in here so they spawn in these two plots, and then I can take this nice little plot over here. All right, Grow a Garden is loading. Let's see if this actually worked. All right, perfect. We're in one of the middle lots now, so this should help us with some mutations. There's my main account garden, by the way. I have that big cactus that's an obstacle course. All right, so step 1 is complete. Now step 2 is we're going to get all of our moon cats prepared yet again to get a big candy blossom seed. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in all of the moon cats that we have in my inventory. I think that's all 8 of them. And let's go ahead and plant our candy blossom down. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it maybe over here, like right in the middle towards the entrance a little bit, so the events can hopefully hit it. I'm trying to get this thing in range of everything that's about to attack it. All right, and then we will go ahead and put a master sprinkler down. We will do our godly sprinkler, advanced sprinkler, and our basic sprinkler. Then we're just gonna go ahead and watering can this guy. All right, perfect. We are set up and all the moon cats are already sleeping. You know what? Actually, yeah, before we put this over here, I'm going to move it. I know I just put all my sprinklers down, but I think over here will be better so the moon cats can reach it. So we can get our initial fruits to grow big. And then once we actually have all that done, then we'll move it to the entrance. I also think just to help this time around, I'm going to give myself some more range of what I can use in my garden. I'm going to expand it on both sides. In that way, if the events happen and they're like a little bit close over here, I can again move my candy blossom over. There we go. That'll expand it just a little bit. I don't think we need this one, even though it takes 24 hours to buy this one. I don't think we're gonna need this one. We mostly just need the sides and then to be pretty close up here. All right, now we wait for candy blossoms to grow. It looks like there's already one growing right there, and it might be pretty big. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and compare, because in the sugar apple video, we had a really big candy blossom grow in, and then we ended up not using that one and going for another one that was even bigger than that one. This one looks just a tad bit smaller than this one. Okay, yeah, I definitely think we have our candy blossom that we're going with. This one is definitely looking more mighty than this one. All right, I don't think the moon cats can really get this to be any bigger. This is a pretty big candy blossom that we have. I think they've done their work. This thing is just going to grow in now. So I think we're gonna go ahead and go with this one. And in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and pick up these moon cats then, because they have done their job. And we are going to go ahead and get a butterfly going. We're gonna need the butterfly to get all of the mutations on this to rainbow. So we're gonna get a butterfly inbound so this thing can get its cooldown, because it takes 28 plus minutes for the butterfly to cool down. All right, but to get those mutations, this thing looks pollinated already, unless it's gold, but I'm gonna go ahead and just in case, I will spray some pollinated mutation on it. Okay, yeah, it is already pollinated, so we're good there. We're gonna go ahead and get shocked on it. We're gonna go ahead and get chocolate on it, just like we've been doing, and that should be 3 mutations already. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the honey sprinkler on it, and that should be 4 mutations. And then to get that 5th one, so we can convert them all over to rainbow, I'm going to summon the polar bear army like I've been doing, because this is an easy way to get chilled pretty quick. Yeah, okay, this one is ready now. Pollinated, shocked, chocolate, chilled, and honey glaze. So this one already has the 5 mutations we need for the butterfly to do its work. But I guess since we got everything else done that we need to for now, and we have a pretty big candy blossom that we're going to take, I'm gonna go ahead and move this back over here, because we're gonna get this thing ready for events. And you know what? I'm gonna actually try and make this stick out of my garden as much as it can. So maybe what we'll do is we will go in the corner right here. Is that gonna stick out? I think it's just gonna make it. Let's see how far I can go. Like right there. Perfect. Now it's sticking out of the garden, so I think any event should have a better chance of actually hitting it. All right, so I went AFK for like 15 minutes, and this thing actually became frozen while I was gone. So there must have been a snowstorm while I was AFK. So that kind of sucks though, because it seems like I can never get frozen after I already have rainbow. All right, so Colleen here is about to cool down and give this candy blossom the rainbow mutation on it. But real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and carefully collect these other candy blossoms, including this other one that grew in rainbow. All right, here we go. Colleen is attacking. Let's watch this thing get converted to rainbow. All right, boom. Butterfly transform candy blossom into a rainbow candy blossom. Look at this thing. It looks great. Oh, also while I'm here, I want to say, because a lot of people are like, Bandites, you didn't actually get the gold mutation on your plant. Well, actually, if you didn't know, you can only get rainbow or gold. And I'm choosing rainbow because it gives you more value than gold. I think gold is like 20 times value and rainbow's 50 times. Okay, yeah, I guess technically this one is going to be bigger because you can see the little stem on it is a lot bigger than this little one. Let's do the stud check. We got 2, 4, 6, 8 studs going across. This one we got 2, 4, 6, 8, but there's a little cutoff here on this part. I didn't think this big of one was gonna grow in after I already got rainbow pollinated, shocked, and chocolate and honey glaze back on it. It's a really hard decision to make, but I know you guys are gonna want to see the bigger one make the most money. So unfortunately, I think we're gonna pause on this one, and we're gonna go ahead and quickly catch this one up, get all the mutations on this one, and hopefully we'll be back in business in just a second. We're gonna wait this out again and get this back to rainbow. So I will see you guys in another 30 minutes. All right, well, we're at least back to having all 5 mutations, and I did want to go ahead and try and see if this one sticks out of our garden even more than that last one was going to, so let's just take a look real quick. Yeah, this one definitely pokes out into the middle of the map a little better, so I think this will actually be good in the long run to get these event mutations to hit. Okay, well, I just reset my butterfly's cooldowns again, it looks like, so that just added another couple minutes back onto this. However, we do have some queen bees here. The queen bee has a slightly less cooldown than the butterflies by a couple of minutes, and that will actually recharge one of the butterflies. So it looks like this one, 21 minutes. This will actually save us 6 minutes to get this butterfly to charge back up. And this is something we're going to use in the future as well. We're just going to use a queen bee to charge up our butterfly, so we save a few minutes in the long haul. All right, so we're about to witness a chain reaction. Our queen bee here is about to cool down one of our butterflies, who will then take all of our mutations and convert this new candy blossom into rainbow, and then we'll be caught back up to where we were. All right, and also just to make sure that this all goes well, we're gonna trowel this back over here for all of our pets to easily reach. Okay, it looks like the bee just cooled down a butterfly, and now the butterfly is doing its thing, and boom, candy blossom is back to rainbow, as you can see. So we're caught back up with that. Now we just got to use our mutation sprays, of course. So the chocolate back on it, put pollinated back on it, shocked back on it, and then use a honey sprinkler here. And just like that, we are back to having 5 mutations. And now we're gonna go ahead and pick up our butterflies here. And we're gonna go ahead and use the polar bears again to get this thing chilled. And then we're gonna get ready for the event spam from Brighter. Oh, was that the one we needed? It said one of them applied, but it might have been that one. Hold on, let me see. Oh, perfect. They did good. We got chilled. All right, that is all we needed, and now we can get Brighter in here to start the event spam to get the other mutation. All right, there we go. These are our 2 biggest queen bees, and that will help with cooling down some of the pets we're going to use, which are the chicken zombies we're going to spawn in, and then we're going to spawn in 3 disco bees, and hopefully we'll get a mutation from these guys, one of these guys at least. All right, Brighter is here, so we're about to get ready for the event spam, and as he gets stuff queued up for us to start spawning in all these events, I'm gonna go ahead and get these star crawlers ready. These little candy blossoms keep growing in, and I don't like that because they're just gonna yoink all of my mutations. So far, we did just get bloodlet, which is good. That's a good sign because the other days, our RNG has been absolutely horrendous. Oh, hello, Mr. Jandel. Here comes the lasers. I'm gonna see if this sticking out far enough will actually get plasma faster. Yeah, so look at that. This is much better being in the middle because this laser is nearly touching this now. I was always over there. Okay, of course when I'm not over there now, the laser gets really close. This is still a way better guarantee to get plasma. I believe. I have hope. I mean, look at this. He's literally lasering that thing head on. I have hope that it's gonna get plasma. Oh, we just got one. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. One of them is plasma now. Come on, Jandel. Come on. You can hit it. You can do this. I believe in you. Look, your aim has definitely increased, and it's only because I went from that corner to the middle of the map. Wait, hold on. Oh, are you kidding? This one's plasma, and this one's plasma, but not this one. There's the heavenly event. Can we at least get heavenly on this big guy? I mean, all these other ones are getting the good stuff. Can this big one have some fun, please? Oh, another one, and boop. He's gone. I believe Brighter queued up like 5 of each event, so we have quite a few chances to get things, but it seems like it's actually really hard to get some of the event mutations to hit your plans. Oh, okay. Heavenly is done. Now it's time for the volcano. This one I usually seem to get. I always seem to get Molten. Our Jandel event luck is never there. We didn't get plasma on this big one. We did get it on the other ones, and we did get a zombified. We did not get any heavenly on any of them. Oh, get some big... Okay, that's like right here. That's gotta affect. This hitbox goes like all the way over here. I feel like magma landing anywhere in this radius should affect this to get Molten. Oh, whoa, I just saw something. Oh yeah, it just went to Molten. Perfect, we got it. All right, well, since we got Molten, I'm gonna actually see if I can climb the volcano while we watch it. I wanna see what's inside of the volcano. We always just be watching it from afar. You got any snacks up here? What's in here? Oh, I've seen things I don't want to see. Oh, we got the admin meteors coming in. Or meteoric. Hopefully they hit. Let's get a nice direct hit over here, please. Oh, there we go. That's one that land right here. Oh, this got meteoric. Meteors, please land right here. Just right here, please. Just land right here. You did so good on that one, but I need you to land one, like, right here. Oh, okay, that one was like on top of this. And that one was on top of this. Oh, there we go, we got it, meteoric. Okay, perfect. Oh, all right, we just transitioned from meteors to void touched. All right, I'm gonna carefully collect this little gold one. This rainbow one's almost done. Next disco beat, please apply to this one and don't fail. That would be really cool. This one, right, it failed. Okay, well, no void touch affecting it, so I'm sad. But at least Celestial is pretty easy to get because we have these star callers here. And to even increase my chances, I'm gonna go ahead and put another one right here. I might be jinxing myself right now. I said it's pretty easy to get Celestial, and now none of these are hitting. None of my star callers have even used one of their ability points. Surprised none of these are hitting, but oh, I think that one just hit. That was like right here. Okay, that one just hit. That was literally just, okay, perfect. Oh, and it just hit again. Okay, now we're getting stuff. There we go. We just got Celestial. Perfect. Well, I guess moving it maybe helped. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and face it into the middle of the map now because when the tornado comes around for Twisted, this guy's got to be sticking out a little bit because that tornado does not really like to go into people's plots. Oh, our first tornado just spawned in, and it actually is pretty close now that this thing is poking out into the middle of the map. Oh, he's moving. He's getting close over there. Hold on. Trowel. Move him. There you go. That's in radius. He's getting closer. Oh, he's gonna come into the plot, I think. Are you gonna come for a visit? Oh, no, you're gonna go into heaven. Wait, this one got twisted up here. So that definitely worked. That definitely was in range. These two are twisted, but I just gotta get this thing twisted now. Oh, hold on. There we go. Right smack middle in the tornado. That's gotta do it. Okay, hold on. No. Come back. Come on. Stick with it, tornado. Don't back down. I'm just gonna keep going for it. Come on, keep going. I'm gonna just keep predicting your pattern. I'm gonna make sure you just twist up this tree as much as you can. So hopefully when I undo this trowel, it says twisted on the big one. Twisted? Hello? Let's go, it worked. It actually worked. We got twisted on it. Twisted is a really annoying one to get. All right. Let's see if these cooked owls get us cooked or burnt. They usually don't give us either. Oh, Cooked owl applied burnt to candy blossom, but which one did it apply? Oh, it applied another burnt. Okay. Surprisingly enough, we actually got burnt these times, but it's on this one that's not grown in yet, and this one that's not grown in yet. Bro, my disco bee failed disco mutation again, and it actually aimed at the correct one. All right, we've pretty much gotten everything that we possibly can at the moment. We got all the events to play through, and we have 11 mutations. We are missing at this one plasma, heavenly, frozen, which I guess we have chilled, but we got to convert that to frozen, zombified, void touch, moonlit, but we do have bloodlit, disco, and either cooked or burnt. We're gonna go ahead and have Brighter work his magic like usual, and he's going to add the rest of the mutations in the game onto this thing. So I know it looks like they're not all here yet, and most of them are, but not all of them. But Brighter, when he works his magic, they will all be there, I promise. He can also add Dawnbound onto this, which is a sunflower only mutation. All right, Brighter is here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this big guy. Is it this one? Yes, this one has rainbow on it, so it's this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I favorite that. We're gonna gift it to Brighter, so he has one to work with. All right, he is adding the rest of the mutations onto the candy blossom now. Oh, there it is. The special fruit. Thank you, Brighter. All right, so here's the big guy. We have the maxed out candy blossom. Oh, wait, he forgot something? Dawnbound. Okay, he's gonna add it. Hold it out. Wait, what did he just do? Where did it go? Okay, hold on, a trash one. Okay, this one's trash. All right, there we go. So this thing is now looking pretty. So if I search up Dawnbound, you can see it actually has taken Dawnbound with every mutation added on here from Brighter. This thing should hopefully break some records on how much it is worth. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Steven to get the value of this, and this thing is worth a whopping 908 billion, almost 1 trillion. This thing did not break 1 trillion. I think a lot of people thought it would, but it is right there touching 1 trillion. It is worth 900 billion, which is very, very expensive and higher than any of the other fruits that we've done. Shout out to Brighter. Very nice dance moves on his. All right, so we're going to start out, of course, with all of our moon cats like we normally do. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is stack some sprinklers like right here. We're going to do all of our sprinklers, master, godly, basic, and advanced, of course. But then we're gonna go ahead and place our mushrooms close to this group of sprinklers to hopefully have the effects be applied to them. There's not a lot of room to work with here, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, all of our moon cats are sleeping, but they're like not in range of our mushroom. Oh wow, they're like all over here. I guess what I'll do is I'll quickly try and place them in this group of moon cats to see if that will take effect on any of them, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place some more sprinklers right in this stash here. All right, now it's just a waiting game to see which mushrooms become the biggest out of all these, and then I guess we'll pick our mushroom. I don't really know how big the mushrooms can get. I don't think they can get as big as some other fruits in this game, but we're gonna go ahead and wait this out and see which one becomes the biggest, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of compare some mushrooms here to get the top weighted one. I don't know if it matters if the mushroom is bigger like this. I'm not sure which one will actually affect the weight. So I guess what I'm gonna go ahead and do is there's this taller one right here, and I'm gonna compare it to one of these ones that have a bigger base to it. So I guess this like orange one in here will be a good choice. All right, let's see. Can I grab this one specifically? Yep. All right, we got that one. And then I'm gonna compare it to one of these because this one's a pretty wide one. So I'm gonna pick up these smaller ones carefully. All right, I'm gonna pick up this one, and then that will be a good comparison here. All right, so this one's 33 compared to this one that's a little bit taller, it's 30. So yeah, it looks like the width matters more for the price. And this one I think is our widest one, so I think we're gonna go with this one. It's not as big as I was hoping, but it's the biggest one I think in weight that we got. So this one will be our mushroom that we try to get every mutation on today. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply our 5 mutations on this thing so we can go ahead and get it to rainbow. And actually right before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get our queen bee ready and our butterfly ready, just so their cooldowns can start. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add shocked to this. I'm gonna add pollinated. I'm going to add chocolate. We'll use a honey sprinkler. We're gonna add a cloud touch mutation onto this, just so we have that 5th mutation. And just like that, it should update. We are good. We now have 5 mutations on our mushroom. And once this queen bee cools down, it will cool down our butterfly, and then this mushroom will turn into a rainbow mushroom. Okay, so this may or may not be good timing. We have about 1 minute left for our queen bee to cool down our butterfly and get this thing rainbow. And within that, we do have a heat wave event. So I'm hoping that this heat wave stays so we can get this thing rainbow. We can instantly get sun-dried applied to it. Because as you see, we just got sun-dried, but we got to get rainbow before we're supposed to get sun-dried. So I need this queen bee to hurry up so we can get sun-dried done and out of the way, like right now. I'm going to go ahead and also make sure I have some more tanning mirrors right next to this thing. All right, there we go. The butterfly is now cooled down from the queen bee and is about to apply rainbow, and hopefully this event does not end in like 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Our mushroom should now be rainbow, which it is, and now we just got to get a heat wave to hit one of these tanning mirrors so we can make sure that this thing gets sun-dried back. Please. There we go, and perfect. We made it. We made it. We got sun-dried applied back onto our rainbow mushroom. We're good. We have 2 of those mutations done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is reapply the chocolate mutation onto here with shocked, pollinated, and a honey sprinkler to get us honey glaze, just like we did at the start. All right, there we go. And then on our main account, we're going to apply the amber mutation and also the cloud touch mutation. Now, I do have the chilled spray right here, but we're not going to do chilled just yet because we're going to try and work on ceramic first. So in the meantime, I'm going to have my main account leave, and hopefully we can get this thing to ceramic before we have our main account rejoin. Otherwise, we'll just go straight for frozen. All right, but just like that, our mushroom is looking pretty good. We are up to 8 mutations on it, and to go ahead and add to the fun of this, we're going to go ahead and start spawning in all of our pets. So we're going to get our disco beast to get that disco mutation applied. We're going to use our chicken zombies to get that zombified mutation applied. 2 cooked owls to get either cooked or burnt applied. And then we're going to do 1 scarlet, but we're also going to do 1 mimic octopus, just so that way we can hopefully get a 100% chance to get one of these other mutations. Oh, you know what? Actually, before I use this bird to get verdant and then turn sun-dried into paradisal, I want this sun-dried to go to ceramic before it goes to paradisal. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pick up our scarlet for now, and I am going to go ahead and use our sea turtle, because thinking about it, I do need to get wet on this anyways in order to get this thing clay. So I'm going to see if this event gives us wet or if our sea turtle gives us wet, and as long as we get one of the 2, I think we're good, and then we just got to wait for a sandstorm to pass through. All right, usually the disco bees come in clutch. Let's see if that's true for today. 1 disco bee's going off. Zephy? Let's go, dude. The disco bees, they just know their game, man. Look at that. We already got disco applied to the mushroom. All right, so I'm going to go ahead then and pick up this other disco bee. And I guess in the meantime, we'll just get some more sea turtles just to get this thing wet quickly, because we really want to get that clay done, and then this thing can turn to ceramic. Okay, our sea turtle just applied wet to the mushroom, which is perfect timing because I got to pick these guys up quick because our mimic octopus is about to mimic one of our other pets. So now we can either get cooked or burnt, or we'll be able to get zombified pretty much instantly with the mimic octopus. So let's see which one he decides to mimic. Okay, he's doing something. We'll see it. Okay, well, I thought the mimic octopus was a 100%, but he literally just failed. So I guess the mimic octopus is not a 100%. It can still fail, and I guess it just picks up on the rates of what your other pet's chances are. So I guess that makes sense. I think if it was a 100% success rate every time, it would be a little broken. All right, cooked owl applied burnt to mushroom. We now have burnt on our mushroom. Thank you, cooked owl. I wonder if one day we'll actually get the cooked mutation instead of burnt. It seems to be very, very rare. Oh, and chicken zombie applied zombified. So you know what? For once in my life, maybe I won't be so sad. And besides that, we could get verdant, but we're just gonna wait that one out until we can get that sun dry to turn into ceramic. I don't want to mess with that. I want to try to get ceramic first this time because that's the one we'd be struggling on. All right, so we have a windy event going on, so we can hopefully get this mushroom windstruck added onto it, since our dino eggs are still needing a lifetime to open. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna try to travel this mushroom to the front of my garden here, because for some reason, and other people noticed this too, I saw in the comments, that whenever you move the mushroom to the front of the garden, for some reason, you usually get wind struck a lot easier when it's up here. Now, maybe we're all just tripping, but I don't know. It seems to work for me in the past, and it seems like it works for other people. So hopefully this helps. Yeah, that didn't do anything. All right, we have another windy event coming through, so we're blessed again. Hopefully we can get wind struck done. This one should be easy, but for some reason it's always very hit or miss for us. Okay, the event just ended. Let's see. Okay, we got wind struck. Let's go, dude. Maybe this corner is the blessed corner, but wind struck is added. Now we just gotta hope that we get a sandstorm soon and a tornado twisted event. Alright, so I have been AFKing on and off, and it's been like 3 hours. And of course, when I went AFK this last time, there was a tornado, there was a moon event, and there was another heat wave. So I think the game just doesn't like me, and it thought that I left for good. So then it started doing stuff. Looking back at the clips, the tornado literally was like on our mushroom, but it did not convert our wind struck. It did not give us twisted because our wind struck did not mix and convert to the tempestuous. Oh, but hold on. Wait a minute, this is perfect timing. We just got another tornado event to start. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and get our mushroom here to get twisted on it so we can get that to mix in and give us that mutation. However, AFKing though, we have not gotten one sandstorm, and it's been like hours and hours and hours of doing this. Oh, there's 2 tornadoes on this. Hold on. But the fact that there hasn't been a sandstorm within like the 3 or 4 hours I've been recording this video, I don't know if it's gonna be possible today to get ceramic. We just need sandy in order to, we have everything else, we're ready. Oh, and there we go, we did just get tempestuous, so we just mixed twisted and windy, and now we have that. That's a good extra multiplier. Yeah, I guess we'll wait around for like another 30 minutes, but if we don't get sandy, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just convert that sun-dried to paradisal and convert that wet to frozen. Alright, so I have still been waiting hours on end, and we don't have friend-bound, and we also have not gotten one sandstorm throughout the hours of us recording this video, which is very unfortunate. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward then with just turning the sand-dried into paradisal and the wet into frozen, and see what the value is after this. I wanted to at least get ceramic and celestial on this as well, but we're almost there, and we haven't gotten either events in hours and hours of waiting. So I guess what we're gonna go ahead and do is spawn in our scarlets here, and just in case we'll spawn in our mimic octopus just to help them out if they don't make any progress. And I'm gonna go ahead and give them all a pet toy to hopefully boost their chances. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the chilled spray to our mushroom. So now our mushroom is officially frozen instead of wet. Alright, and just like that, our Scarlet applied Verdant to our mushroom, which gives us Paradisal as it combined with the Sun-Dried mutation. Alright, I'm gonna pick all of these guys up, and we are now at 14 mutations on this thing. Now, if you expand some of the ones that combined, we'd be at 16 mutations. Now, I only really needed to get Ceramic on this, and then maybe Celestial and Aurora. So we're pretty much missing 3 legit mutations, but we're almost there. But within hours of sitting here, I didn't get any of those events, which is crazy. Now, of course, this doesn't include all the admin ones, but I think the creator program is supposed to resume very soon, so we can start getting those in these videos again. It's time to check with Steven the price of our mushroom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. And Steven, what is our mushroom valued at? Alright, so our mushroom is worth 5 billion. I think this could have definitely been a lot more if the size of this thing was bigger. I don't really know the max size you can get of a mushroom. I know I've seen some very, very tall ones before, some very big ones, but for this one only being, I don't even know, probably around 30 to 40 kilograms, that's pretty good. I mean, 5 bill is pretty good with all these mutations. There's definitely other plants that would have gotten you more. Alright, so before Brighter runs all the events, we actually have to get a pretty big pepper seed. So first off, what I'm going to do is actually place these sprinklers down. So we have a bunch of spice sprinklers. Then I'm going to do master sprinklers next to all of these. Then I'm going to also run up some basic sprinklers. And then we're gonna go ahead and grow our dragon pepper seeds. I'm gonna put one next to all of the sprinklers. And we're gonna see what we get from this, if it actually makes a pretty big pepper. What we're looking for is the biggest dragon pepper that we can possibly get out of all of these, so we'll see what we get. We have some watering cans, so to speed this up, we're gonna go ahead and water these. And it looks like we're gathering a little bit of an audience. Hello, welcome to the show. All right, there we go. The dragon peppers are sprouting, and they're actually sprouting really quick. All right, so these are actually pretty big ones. I don't know which one looks to be the biggest so far. Let me see. Maybe this one. Oh, no, this one right here. Definitely this one. So this one's pretty big. It's not as big as I was hoping we would get, but it's decent enough that I'm going to go ahead and keep this. So we have our dragon pepper here. Now, Brighter is going to go crazy and pretty much run every single possible event that he can. All right, he said event time. Let's do it. Bet. All right, here we go, boys. We're about to get every event possible from Brighter. Thank you so much, Brighter, for doing this. All right, here we go. We got the black hole event to hopefully get void touched on this thing, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these other dragon peppers. All right, we got the black hole going. Let's see if any of these get void touched. I'm hoping that this big one does. We gotta get void touched on the big guy. Oh, it looks like we're getting some more events. We got bloodlet on here. Okay, he's just gonna go crazy and do all of them. All right, we didn't get any void touch, surprisingly. Oh, but we are getting a meteor strike. Okay, this is the new one. This is the admin only exclusive meteor strike. Oh, one just landed really close, but it didn't hit our dragon pepper head on. Come on. Dude, we're getting like horrible luck right now. All these things are just missing completely. Come on, let's get some meteors over here. All right, we got a tornado coming in for the possible twisted mutation. This thing's gonna have to come over here though. Tornado, yo, come on. Come over here. Come over here. Come on. Yeah. Closer. Closer. Come on. Just a little closer. Come on. Come on, buddy. Good, tornado. Come on. Come on in. Don't be shy. Come on over here. I have to move this over here real quick. Wait. Come on. Yo. Get over here. All right, I'm about to trowel this right into it. Go. Did I just miss that? Oh my, bro. How did I not get any of these? All right, so I said my luck is so bad, might need to run those again, and Brighter said bet, so we're about to get round 2 of all these. In the meantime, I'm gonna use these mutation sprays on this one, and we're gonna get chocolate on it. Or actually, that's pollinated, and then we're gonna get chocolate on it, so that way we can start racking up some of these mutations. We'll have to get the shocked mutation spray as well, but we'll do that in a minute. Volcanic eruption. Oh my, bro. Okay, so this is the new volcano event that you can get. We're gonna hope that one of these giant magma blocks hits our dragon pepper. So far, it's pollinated, it's chocolate, it's bloodlet, but none of the other things have hit, so we're just gonna have to wait. Oh, that one's about to touch. Yo, that one was so close. Did it touch? No, it didn't, and I accidentally just collected the one we just did all that to, the big one. All right, well. All right, we got chalk, bloodlet, void touched. All right, there we go. Now we got pollinated on it. All right. So now we got to get one of these to hit so we can get Celestial on it. And then we're going to have him run back the other events he just did because our luck right now is completely terrible. I'm going to trowel this guy over here to the corner so he has a better chance to actually get hit by some of this stuff whenever we redo these events. So I can trowel it in between these 2 star crawlers so both of them should be able to hit. That way it's in the corners, so we should get the other events to actually hit this. And in the meantime, while we do that, we actually have some pets here. So I'm gonna run up some disco bees to get this thing disco mutated. We also have some chicken zombies, so we're gonna try to use these to get the zombified mutation on this thing. All right, so he gave me some pretty OP pets. Jandel is here to laser the map. All right, he's lasering the map. Is he gonna come this way? He'll come this way. Buddy, look, man. Why do all these events only want to target the middle of the map? Hey, yo, Jandel, I need you to wake up and listen, man. Look, I'm over there. Do you not see that right there? Is it not possible for you to just hit that one right there? Please. I need your mutations. While he's doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and buy a shocked mutated spray. That way I can go ahead and get this guy shocked so we don't have to wait for that. All right, there we go. We got pollinated, we got shocked. All right, we need this twister to head this way and all of these events to actually head over here now. All right, so I was literally AFK for a second because there's a roach attacking us. We got Celestial and Twisted on this one Dragon Pepper. I wanted it on this one, but this works too. All right, so we'll start working on this one then. We'll add some pollination onto that. We'll add some chocolate onto this. This should help with some disco. Oh, wait, one of them just got disco. Wait, this one got disco. Okay, so we can just get Twisted to hit this one. It'll actually be better. All right, we have two very good ones right now, but one has Twisted and one has Void Touch. So they're like split. It's split between them both for me right now. All right, hopefully these chicken zombies actually do what they're supposed to. What are the chances for this? So 22% chance. We have 3 of them. So that's like a 60% chance that one of these is going to get zombified in a second. Okay, one chicken zombie just went off, but he failed. This one failed. Come on, we got one more. We got one more. Come on. Come on, please. And failed. Okay. We're going to try to get gold on it instead in the meantime. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in these dragonflies. Now, I also forgot we do have to get honey glazed on this. So I'm going to go ahead and also sprinkle these honey sprinklers down. And hopefully this will help. Oh, wait, that was actually quick. We already got honey glaze. It only took like 1 sprinkler. All right, there we go. Our dragonfly finally put gold on this one. So now we are up to 10 mutations. We still got to get this wet to become frozen. And then we still need pretty much the rest of the admin events. But we're getting there. We made a lot of progress so far. Bro, no way this guy actually just stole this. All right, well... yeah, this dude just stole it, so that's awesome. So glad that he did that. So I'm gonna have to get disco on this one now and void touched. All right, we got another Jandel event happening, and this is actually making some good progress. So this one actually just got moonlit on it, and it does have twisted, which is harder to get, I think, than the void touch. We'll just wait for these events to keep spamming in, but we gotta get Jandel to hit this with plasma. All right, yo, we got plasma on the dragon pepper from that. All right, hopefully we can get volcanic though. We need volcanic. Okay, that literally just like slammed on top of this thing, but I don't think that gave it volcanic, did it? Oh, yes, it did. We got molten. We got molten. That's another 2 down. All right, perfect. Bro said 37 Robux and literally looked at my dragon pepper. Bro, please have a heart. It was already stolen. I'll be so sad. All right, we're finally at peace in our own server, dude. I was starting to stress out after that guy stole. But anyways, this thing has now got wet on it. And once these polar bears do some more work, I mean, they only have like a minute cooldown. We should hopefully get frozen on this one. They're trying to apply it. Oh, let's go. He got chilled on this one. So now it is frozen officially. That is another one to check off the box. I'm going to pick up all of these polar bears, and I guess we'll go ahead and do the cooked owls for now. And then we'll try to get the disco bees back in. But I think we have some disco events queued. So cooked owls we'll prioritize for now. These guys take 15 minutes. And then hopefully we'll get some cooked. Now these are only an 18.4% chance every 15 minutes. I mean, it can still get burnt, so we'll see what happens. All right, Brighter's back in. He's gonna try and spam some more of the weather events for me to get the remaining admin mutations on this dragon pepper. My zombie chickens just failed at mutating, and also my disco bees just failed as well. They were close. All right, I'm just gonna keep picking up these other dragon peppers just so I have a better chance to actually get my mutations on this. Because I've been at this for like nearly 3 hours and it's like 6 in the morning almost, and I should probably go to bed. Brighter's gonna just hook me up. He's gonna mutate this plant and just give me all the mutations on it at this point, since that's what I've been working for. Because bro, the RNG I'm getting right now is actually insane, and I can't actually get anything good. Brighter is going to help me. He's going to just mutate this thing for me, and we're gonna check the value. All right, we're gonna get all the mutations on it. So here we go. As the void touch is going, I'm going to pick this up in 3, 2, 1. All right, we have it. All right, so he's gonna work his magic. He's gonna bless this thing. Let me, where'd it go? Where'd it go? This is it, but for some reason it just like broke, and now it's really tiny, probably because it has all the mutations on it, but this is the one. All right, so now he just works some magic, and this one has literally every single mutation in the game. As you can see pollinated, celestial, moonlit, heavenly, bloodlit, plasma, honey glaze, frozen, gold. There's pretty much no more commas because I can't display the rest of the mutations on this. So this is my pepper with every single mutation. Thank you, Brighter, for helping me. I know this was like a lot of work to do. And let's see how much this dragon pepper with every single mutation in the game is now worth. So this one plant is worth 1.7 billion, but if we sell this single plant, it is 1.7 billion, and there we go. I thought it would honestly be a little bit more than that. That is still a lot of money. I mean, we got every mutation on that thing. All right, there's all 8 moon cats. We're gonna go ahead and plant the elephant ear right here to begin with, and then we're gonna get our sprinklers out. So let's do the usual. Let's get a master sprinkler on it, a godly sprinkler, basic, and advanced. All right, there we go. We're all set. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing to grow. We're almost there. Come on. Grow in for us. The mooncats are already napping, so hopefully the fruits on this thing become gigantic. All right, there we go. We're officially grown in. We have our elephant ear plant ready to go. Now we actually have to just wait and get an elephant ear fruit to grow in. All right, we've used over 1,000 watering cans on this thing, and this is the only progress we have so far. Ooh, this is tempting. We have a rainbow one that's growing in, and it always takes us a lot longer to get rainbow because you have to use the butterfly, which like takes 20 or 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, look at how big this one is that just grew in. Okay, we might have a winner on the size. So even though this one's rainbow, I think we have a winner of which one we're going to go with, which is this gigantic elephant ear. And we're gonna go ahead and put some polar bears down so we can get chilled going. And then we will do our sprays like we normally do. So we're gonna do chalked on that. We're gonna do chocolate on it, and then we're gonna do pollinated on it. All right, we're good there. We're gonna also get a honey sprinkler set on it so we can get honey glazed. All right, honey glaze is there. You can see the effect. And now we just need one of these polar bears to chill this one, and then we could start aiming to get rainbow on it. All right, well, our polar bears are trying to get, oh, well, it looks like they just got chilled on this one, actually. So I believe this one has all 5 mutations on it, but I can't really check until it's fully grown, which is a bit of a problem. But we can start making progress. I'm gonna get a queen bee out, and then we're gonna get our butterfly out so we can convert this elephant ear to rainbow. And again, the queen bee has a 5-minute shorter cooldown than the butterfly, so we can get that rainbow effect on this elephant ear 5 minutes faster than we normally would be able to. All right, I can tell watering this thing and with all the sprinklers on it, it is definitely making growth progress on the fruits. The elephant ear that we're going for right here is actually slowly growing. I'm seeing it every couple seconds just get bigger and bigger. It's really hard to tell though the size because this thing is digging into the ground. Okay, so the way that the elephant ears grow in Grow a Garden is that the first layer grows in, which is like the outer layer, and then you get this inner layer that grows in. As you can see for this one, here's the inner layer growing. So here's our elephant ear that we are working with. This is the inner layer that is growing in now. The outer layer is over here. The inner layer looks to be bigger than the actual outer layer. As you can see, this is gigantic. Like, this is huge. All right, so the queen bee's cooldown is finished. That should help with our butterfly here. And now the butterfly should go ahead and add a rainbow onto this gigantic elephant ear. Wait, what? What's going on? Why is it not doing it? The butterfly didn't seem to do anything, but I don't know exactly why. All right, I actually had to just save a clip because I just saw the polar bear applied chilled to the elephant ear. I thought this whole time we had chilled, it kept failing, and now I think we officially do have chilled on it. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that there's actually a 3rd layer to the elephant ears. So there's like out, middle, and in. We only have 2 layers done on this one, and the 2nd layer is not even done yet. I just want to point that out. We've used over 6,000 watering cans on it now, and that 3rd layer still hasn't even peaked out, and these ones are still even growing here, and these have been getting the same amount of watering cans. So I can only imagine this is going to use up probably another 5,000 plus watering cans to finish this. So honestly, we might just AFK until it's fully grown. All right, so we stacked some sprinklers, and we have sighting of the 3rd and final layer of this elephant ear. So we are definitely making progress. We are getting there. This thing should be done hopefully soon enough. All right, something I didn't think of is that I could have bought the grow all sign in the front of my garden, and I think that would have sprouted all my fruits. Let me go ahead and test that on my main account real quick and see if I can grow all my plants with my main account. All right, I just did it, and it looks like that actually works. So if we did that to begin with, we would have actually saved a lot of time and a lot of watering cans. Oh, and the queen bee is doing her thing, getting the butterfly to convert my mutations. And now look at this giant elephant ear. It is now rainbow. This is a huge elephant ear. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now that it has rainbow is put pollinated back onto it. Then we're going to put shocked back onto it. We're going to put chocolate back onto it. And then we're going to use the honey sprinkler. All right, now that should have caught us up. So now we should have, yep, there we go. We are back up to 5 mutations. And when the polar bears do their thing, hopefully we get chilled back on this. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rest of these elephant ears though, so they're out of the way. Once this is chilled, we can officially move forward on doing the events to get the rest of the mutations that we need. All right, there we go. Polar bear applied mutation chill to elephant ear. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up all these polar bears now, and we are going to spawn in some other pets. So we're gonna spawn in 2 scarlets for the new verdant mutation that they can add to the plant. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 of our chicken zombies to hopefully get zombified. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees as well, and 2 cooked owls. So that way we have a chance to get all of the pet mutations that we need. So we can either get verdant, cooked or burnt, zombified, and disco, and that will add on some mutation to this thing. A friend actually told me this, by the way, and I think a couple people in the comments told me this, but you can actually highlight certain fruits specifically. So if we go ahead and favorite the big elephant ear over here, just so we don't touch it by mistake, we can actually use our shovel to delete these elephant ears that are growing in individually. So I probably am just late to this information, but this will actually help so we can get rid of some of these elephant ears that grow in that we don't want. So hopefully our pets will target mutations on the only one that we have. Oh, disco bee, he just applied disco to this. Cooked owl, come on. Cook or burn this elephant ear. I don't care, I want either mutation. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go! Good job, cooked owl. I'm proud of you. We now have burnt and disco on this thing, so now we can pick up the rest of our cooked owls here, and we just need these chicken zombies to get us zombified. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in some more chicken zombies and another scarlet bird, and that is some better chances to get the rest of the pet mutations that we need. Let's go! Our scarlet just applied verdant to our elephant ear, which now means if we get sun-dried, we can get paradisal. But there we go, we got verdant on it for now. All right, so Brighter is officially here, about to queue up all of our events to spam mutations on our giant elephant ear. The only problem is that I left the game to go AFK, and I completely forgot about keeping my plot. And since he's already here, I don't want to have to rejoin and go over there. So we're just going to wing it and see what mutations we get. All right, but we're going to go ahead and prepare here. I'm going to go ahead and move this elephant ear over here. But the only problem with that is these tanning mirrors and star collars that I placed down will no longer reach. Well, this one might, but it's a little too far away. So we're going to have to put a new one down. Let's go ahead and just get rid of that one just so we're safe. And then we'll go ahead and put one here just so we can make sure it hits. And then the tanning mirrors will go ahead and move as well. I'm going to put one over here, and then I'll put one over here, so that way we should be able to get sun-dried pretty easy. And we're starting off with the bang. The galactic event is here, thanks to Brighter as always. Hopefully we can actually get the galactic mutation from the space travel event. It is a difficult one to get. It's a pretty low chance, but I really want to see if we can get it legit this time. Oh, a fruit in your garden turned to moonlit. However, it's this little thing and not the big elephant ear. We gotta keep trying to delete these elephant ears and getting them out of the way. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this little one right here that got the moonlit on it, and we should be good. Oh, I just saw something get moonlit, and it was our big one. Perfect. We needed moonlit. We got moonlit. Please, space engines, can you blast and give my elephant ear over here? Can you just give him galactic? What's back here, by the way? Oh, I can go in here? Hello? Let me in. All right, these space travel events only last about a minute. Oh, I think it's ending. Okay, it's blasting away. And we're now into alien invasion. Well, did we get galactic? No, we did not get galactic. I think alien-like we should have a better chance with. Hopefully, we see alien-like appear, and hopefully we get a UFO to attack. Now, if the UFO does attack, we need to make sure that this little guy is gone. Yo, Steven? Steven, hey, buddy. Can you tell those aliens to please mutate my elephant ear over there? Look, it's gonna be worth a lot. I promise I won't empty your pockets with it, okay? Oh, okay, nighttime just ended, though. Now we're in full effect of daytime aliens. I thought it was gonna be, like, really dark, nighttime scary aliens, but we have daytime aliens. Looks like the aliens don't want to have any part of my elephant ear production. Well, We're gonna have to wait for alien-like. We did not get alien-like, but there's chances to have that added in later. I don't know what our chances are for plasma because Jandel kind of just shoots the floor now. Oh man, we're gonna lose out on another event, I think, just because this one be bugging. All right, well, plasma was a fail. I don't think I can get plasma when he doesn't shoot anything but the floor. You're looking pretty nice, Jandel. Would you mind giving some of your heavenly touch to my elephant ears? All right, the queen bees are cooling down. Some chicken zombies attacking and failed. All right, we're down to our last heavenly event. He's gonna bloop away, but we're down to our last one. We'll see if this thing gets heavenly mutation on it with this last heavenly event, but if it doesn't, we gotta move on to the next one, and hopefully these chicken zombies get a zombified. But so far, our event luck today is garbage. Very garbage. Oh, but here we go. We have the heat wave event coming through with our sun-dried chances, and bam! I think we just got it, actually. Yeah, we got Paradisal, but we have a chance to get sun-dried back now, and that will increase the money on this even more. There we go. Tanning Mirror just got hit. Easy. And there we go. Paradisal and sun-dried. So we're looking good. We're getting more mutations, but we still have quite a few left that we have to get, and hopefully we get every single one of the rest of these that are about to play out. Oh, the meteors are here, and one literally just like landed right in my plot, but I didn't get meteoric. So we'll just wait a second. Hopefully we get one to hit. I'm just gonna sit right here and chill. Let's see what happens. Oh, these are literally like right on top of my garden. I think to help with this one, I'm gonna trowel this over here, and then we'll move it back, but I'm gonna put it like right in the middle, so that way if a meteor hits, it has all of this that it could land on, and hopefully we get meteoric by this. Yeah, like that. Come on, give us the mutation, give us the meteor. Yo, right here, right here. Oh, it was so close. He was, oh, right here. Yo, that's on. That is on. That literally touched it on the corner over there. Did we get it? How did we not get that? And I think that's it. But we're into the black hole. Okay, we got a good chance for Void Touch. Usually Void Touch is an easy one. You don't really have to do anything. It will just kind of happen. Void touched, void touched, void touched, void touched. What do we got next? Oh, okay. This one is a pretty good guarantee. We have a meteor shower, which will get called in by these Starcrawlers. I kind of wish the Starcrawlers called in the meteors from the admin meteors. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Right on that. There's no way that doesn't get Celestial. That literally touched everything there. There we go. Perfect. We got Celestial. That's another one down. Oh, it's windy, and it's actually somehow pushing me. Is this new? I don't think it pushed you before, did it? Maybe I just move around too much to not ever notice, but it actually pushes you if you don't move. I don't know what I could do, if I should move this plant to see if it'll increase chances. I mean, I guess now that the star crawlers are used up and we're good with that, I could try and move this and at least, you know, put it like out here. Ow, that's landed on my head. But whenever the tornadoes spawn in, maybe this will be a better chance to get twisted if it's poking out like this, because this goes out pretty far. I mean, oh, look at that. I literally just moved it. We got wind struck. All right, the wind event has ended with some more wind because there's tornadoes now. But yeah, these twisters are a lot faster now. So in the last update, they actually made 2 twisters spawn into the map at a time now, and they spawn in at different spots. They don't just spawn in the middle and then move around. They actually spawn around the map and then move around. So much easier and better chances now to actually get twisted. Oh, here comes another one. I'm gonna move it over here towards it. Come on, twist it up. Twist it up, tornado. Come on, let's go. Give me that twisted on it, please. Please, buddy. Yes, let's go. We got it. We got twisted. That's another one we can check off our box. Perfect. So moving this thing around definitely helps with getting twisted. All right, we're almost there. So now it is raining, which can apply wet to our elephant ear, which will then combine wet and chilled and make frozen. So let's see if that happens. One of our chicken zombies just applied zombified again, but it went to our other elephant ear that's trying to grow in. So now we have 2 elephant ears with zombified that we're not even going to use. All right, here we go. Volcano time. Let's see if we can get this thing molten. This is pretty big. It has a pretty wide range. It's covering almost our entire garden on this side. So as long as we can get one of these molten cubes to land, it should get molten. Let's see. Do we get... I don't see molten, but these are getting pretty close. That's good. I don't know if I should back it up and put it over here just so we have a better chance, but we can always trowel it into the molten and see if that helps. Oh my... That literally was like on top of this. That was on top of it. Wait, this one got molten right here. Did this one? Yo, let's go. We got molten. We got another one down in the bag. Perfect. So we're missing about 8 mutations and we could get chilled into frozen, but we did get 15 mutations here on this elephant ear, which is a pretty good amount. But we're gonna finish this video off by having Brighter join the server and add the rest of the mutations that we need on this thing, including Dawnbound, as he's able to add Dawnbound onto any plant in the game. And we're gonna see how much this thing is actually worth. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pick up our elephant ear as the map explodes behind us. And here we go. We picked it up. Let's see what this thing looks like in our hand. All right, so as you can see, we have our giant elephant ear. It does shrink down now that we're holding it. But if I hover over this, you can see the percent chance on the chicken zombie, and you can see all of the other mutations that we had so far on this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this in my inventory, and we're gonna have Brighter add the rest of the mutations onto this thing. Brighter is here in the server. He is going to add the rest of the mutations that we need on our elephant ear, which are the following: zombified, galactic, alien-like, plasma, heavenly, meteoric, bloodlit, void touch, frozen, and dawnbound. He's gonna add dawnbound onto this. I think it's ready. All right, we got it. All right, thank you to Brighter as always. We now have every mutation in Grow a Garden on the elephant ear. So now it is time to check with Steven and see how much this thing is worth. So we're gonna go ahead and go up to Steven. How much is this worth? This is 420 billion. That is actually a really good value. So this thing is worth quite a bit of money, nearly $500 billion. So elephant ears are definitely worth it, and you get more of them than the sunflower. So honestly, elephant ears, I think, are the way to grind if you want some money. However, the seed is very rare, but it's worth it if you get one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spawn in some mooncats here. So we got 8 mooncats that we can spawn in, so we can start getting progress on getting a big, beautiful maple apple tree. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and place all of our sprinklers down here. So we're gonna get a master, godly, advanced, and basic, and then we're gonna put our maple apple right in there. And look at that, it's all rainbowy up here, so it looks like we might have a pretty big tree. To save some time, we're gonna go ahead and hit that grow all button on my main account. And oh, look at this, we got a sandstorm, so we might as well hurry up and do this. All right, we're in, and there we go. We have some maple apples. Now, these don't look very big. This one looks decent, but some of these don't look as big as I thought we might be able to get this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up these, and I guess we'll give it a look and see how they regrow. But I'm going to go ahead and put some more sprinklers down, and we're going to try to get this thing to grow a little bit better. We want these mooncats to hopefully affect this as much as possible. We want to get a big maple apple. Now, we do have a pretty decent sized one here, but I think we could do better than that. I think we could definitely get a bigger one to show up. All right, we have a lot of mooncats right here. I think what I'll do is I'll trowel this into the sleeping mooncats if they all pile in a certain area. Let me move that into that circle. All right, yeah, they're kind of all piling around in different spots. They're not like just in one area. Okay, let me try right here in between these two, or actually maybe even right here because there's a few of them right here. All right, and hopefully that helps. All right, I'm gonna hit the grow all button again just to see if anything changes, see if we get any big ones. So let's just YOLO it. Let's see what we get. Okay, that's better. That's definitely better. That's this one is pretty big. All right, so we can go ahead and pick up these other ones then. Yeah, look at this. We thought this was gonna be decent. I think this one's a lot better. Dude, what is going on? We're getting all these events, but we're not ready yet. We still gotta get this thing rainbow. All right, we're gonna pick up all of our mooncats. We're gonna try and go through this quick. So let's go ahead and get our sprays done. Actually, let's go ahead and get that queen bee ready to get the cooldowns ready. Let's get the butterfly ready to get that cooldown ready, and then let's get these sprays done on our maple apple. So we're gonna go ahead and put pollinated on this. We're gonna put chocolate on that. We're gonna put a cloud touched, shocked, and then we will do honey glazed with the honey sprinkler. And there we go. That will be our 5 mutations. All right, so I was stupid and accidentally picked up my queen bee, so I've been sitting here waiting for my butterfly. But to speed this up, I guess, a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and give my butterfly this toy, which will speed up the cooldown, and now our butterfly will give us rainbow. So it's like the same thing, but yeah, you won't notice any difference here, but yeah, I had to wait a little bit longer because I'm stupid and dumb. All right, so just like that, our maple apple is now rainbow, so we can go ahead and pick up that butterfly. We're good. We have this mutation done. All right, so now we can go ahead and apply our sprays to this thing again. So we're gonna put our chocolate back on it. Pollinated, shocked, cloud touch. We're gonna go ahead and put our honey sprinkler back down to get honey glaze back onto it. And then on our main account, we're going to apply amber onto it. I did that from over there. I got snipes, I guess. But now amber's back onto it. Now, my main account has some chilled sprays we're going to use, but we're going to wait on that because we're going to try to get this thing to get ceramic first. So to do that, we need wet and then sandy to get clay, and then we'll need to get sun-dried to turn that into ceramic. So we're going to wait a little bit, and we're going to not apply the chill just yet. We're going to do frozen after we get ceramic. So now we're going to start focusing on the rest and applying some more with our pets. So I have some disco bees here. Now, I know people are going to be like, Bandites, you can just use the new disco spray. Well, there's no spray merchant, and I don't have the disco spray, okay? So I'm going to be using disco bees to hopefully get us disco mutation on our maple apple. And then I'm going to be using the cooked owls, same thing here, to hopefully get burnt or cooked since I don't have those sprays as well. We're going to go ahead and use some chicken zombies, and then we're going to spawn in one scarlet. Actually, we're going to hold off on the scarlet for now and not get verdant on this just yet because we're going to try to get ceramic first, and if we have verdant that's sun-dried, we'll just convert to paradisal. So we're going to wait on this guy, but we are going to spawn in 2 sea turtles so we can get this maple apple the wet mutation. And after we get the wet mutation, that should help us get this turned to clay. And then, yeah, we could go through that getting ceramic. Our luck today is a little bit better than it's been the last few videos. We have another aurora happening. So hopefully we can get the aurora mutation on our maple apple. Oh, look at that. Just like that, the sea turtle already applied wet to our maple apple. So that's quick and easy. We can go ahead and pick up these guys then, and I guess we'll spawn in another disco bee and another, I guess we'll do another chicken zombie for the time being. Oh, I just saw something happen. Did we get it? Oh, let's go. We got Aurora. All right, this is actually going a lot better today than it has been. I think the update of increasing the events really helped. So we are up to 9 mutations on our maple apple, including Aurora, which is awesome. We're going to wait for these pet mutations to hopefully take effect. We got our disco bees and our cooked owls that will be applying some mutations soon. All right, our disco bees always seem to be the first pet to apply their mutations, but anyways, let me go ahead and unfavorite this real quick. But as you can see, we now have the disco mutation on our maple apple, so it's starting to look pretty good. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is pick up these disco bees carefully without picking anything else up, as I've done in the past, as we all know now. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another cooked owl or two. Let's see, I guess I'll do another cooked owl, and I will spawn in another chicken zombie, so hopefully we can get these 2 mutations done. And then we just really got to get verdant after that, but we're going to wait for verdant just for a little bit. We want to wait until we get this thing, hopefully ceramic first, and then we'll focus on paradisal. All right, so we have some of our cooked owls here that are about to finish their cooldowns, which is good. And with that, we also have a Zen event about to start. Oh, well, they're targeting the big one, but they're failing. What about the other one? Targeted the big one, but fail. Okay, that's very sad. Our chicken zombies are almost cooled down as well. At least 2 of them are almost done. And then we have another one that'll be done in a few minutes. And we're gonna see the Zen Aura event happen in a second, which will help us get Tranquil on our maple apple here, which will be another mutation added on. All right, so we got our first little Tranquil beam coming over here. Let's see which one it hits first. All right, there we go. Our big one is mutated to Tranquil, so that's a really easy one to get, and that's just some extra multiplier for us to work with. Oh, let's go. Thank you, cooked owls. You guys, I love you so much. You're so nice to me today. All right, well, there we go. Now we have burnt on our big maple apple here, so we're stacking up some good mutations. I'm going to go ahead and pick up these cooked owls now then. Get these guys out of the way. We have another chicken zombie almost ready, so hopefully he does what the cooked owls did in target. I'm going to spawn in another chicken zombie, and we'll spawn in a mimic octopus to mimic those guys to give us even more opportunities. All right, we have a windy event, which I was hoping for, and I'm going to go ahead and travel our plant, I guess, over here, because for some reason, these corners over here always help get wind struck on our plants faster. Okay, the event ended. Let's see if we got any windstruck added. Oh, we did. Dude, I don't know why this corner is blessed right here. If you need windstruck, move your plants like right here. It seems to always work to get us windstruck. All right. I forgot that they re-added frost into the game, which if we get chilled, which because our plant is already wet, we might get it frozen, which we don't want right now, which is going to be very unfortunate. We have wet, and I probably should have waited. I completely forgot that they re-added frost. The only reason I added wet was in case a sandstorm came by, we could have gotten sandy, which would have made this turn instantly to clay. But I didn't count the fact that if a frost storm comes by, we can get frozen. We don't want frozen yet because once we get frozen, we pretty much, I don't think, can get ceramic. Actually, you know what? We probably can. I think if we get sandy, we could apply wet again. So this actually isn't the end of the world. It would just get us frozen earlier, which we didn't really want yet. All right, well, yeah, we now have frozen on our maple apple. Honestly, that is fine. We'll just keep frozen on there. Either way, we can still get ceramic, I believe. We just have to wait for a sandstorm now, and once this is sandy, we can add wet to it to get clay. Okay, it looks like one of our chicken zombies just applied zombified to our maple apple. Yep, there it is. We are good, which means we pretty much have every pet mutation done. We still gotta wait for twisted, which is technically a pet mutation now, I guess. But that will get this thing to tempestuous. And then once we have that, we also need to get verdant, which is also a spray or a pet mutation. Alright, so I have literally been in a Discord call with one of my friends for like 6 hours talking, waiting for more mutations to get applied. We did end up getting moonlit to this, but we had a sandstorm twice and did not get sandy. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just apply scarlet to this maple apple so we can get verdant on it. So I'm going to spawn in 3 scarlets and a mimic octopus just so we can make sure we get that verdant mutation, and that will turn sun-dried into paradisal. So there we go. We have all these pets set, and some of them actually have some of our buffs still added onto them. And while they focus on getting that sun-dried to turn into paradisal, over here on my main account, shout out to my friend Cole or Azook. He actually is letting me borrow his kitsune for this video so I can try to get chakra and foxfire chakra on my maple apple. And if I can get those two, that should be some extra good mutation buffs. So I have a queen bee spawned in my main account garden in there, and I'm going to go ahead and use that queen bee with the kitsune to see if I can get both foxfire and regular chakra on my plant. So apparently the kitsune actually applies it to your plant, and then it steals it and gives it to your other account. So I should be able to get 2 of these maple apples with all these mutations on it, and it should be pretty good overall. Okay, well, it looks like we're about to finally wrap things up here, and we finally got sandy applied to our maple apple after literally hours and multiple sandstorm events. So we technically could get this up to ceramic now, but I don't know if I really want to wait around for another heat wave event to happen, because I have been at this for like 8 hours today trying to get this one to be good for you guys. So I think we're just going to keep sandy, that way we have that mutation on there, and then if we can get foxfire chakra and regular chakra, that should make up for that ceramic mutation, and at least we still have sandy on it. All right, my main account's kitsune is coming over here to attack our maple apple. Okay, and it says kitsune applied chakra, so it looks like my main account is getting one of these, and let's just go ahead and check. Yeah, there we go. Now we have chakra on this. We did not get foxfire chakra, but we do have the regular chakra on this, and in total we do have 18 mutations on our maple apple. We could turn this sandy into ceramic. We could have turned this windstruck into tempestuous, and we could also get foxfire chakra and celestial. So there's a few things that we could have combined for better mutation chances, and it would have really helped us in the end to get a little bit more money value out of this. But overall, I think this is a pretty good maple apple, and I'm very happy with it with how many mutations we actually got today. Let's go ahead though and pick up our maple apple and check the value. All right, so here it is. Here's our big maple apple with all of these mutations on it. It looks insane with all the electricity and everything on it. I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it as well, just so I don't accidentally ever sell it. And we're gonna check with Steven. So Steven, what is the value of our maple apple with all 18 of these mutations on it? This maple apple is worth 197 billion, and I can only imagine that this would have been past 400 billion or so if we were actually got Celestial, Foxfire, Chakra, and a couple of those other mutations mixed together. With those admin mutations, I think this would have been very, very good. But for that many mutations on it, that is still pretty good. I do wish our maple apple was a little bit bigger, but overall, I'm very happy with that price. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 of these mooncats here that I have. All right, we have 7 mooncats. There's also new like pet loadout slots. So if I want, I could have like 1 for mooncats, 1 for my queen bee and butterfly. Since I tend to swap out pets a lot, it's easier for me to just keep doing it the way I normally do it. So that's how we're gonna do it today. All right, but anyways, now that we have all of these guys spawned in, we're gonna spawn in one of our Triceratopses here. And now we're gonna go ahead and place our sprinklers down. So let's put our Grandmaster sprinkler, Master, Godly, Advanced, Basic, and we'll put our King Cabbage right in there. All right, our mooncats are on it, which is good. These sprinklers are doing stuff. So while we wait for this to grow, I must let you guys know, I actually have a new channel that I started with a team called Bandites Movies. Now, this channel will include some old content mixed into long-form videos of over an hour long, and I'll also have some new videos on there that you guys may have not seen before. So if you guys want to check that channel out, the link will be in the description, or you could just search up Bandites Movies and you should find it. We already have some videos uploaded on there. All right, so here is our King Cabbage growing in. It looks pretty big. I don't know if this is going to be a multi-harvest. Let me make sure this is a multi-harvest fruit or not. Okay, this is a multi-harvest fruit. So whatever we get here, this will just be the plant and then we get the fruits on it, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and watering can it a little bit so we can get this thing to sprout up a little bit. So then our Triceratops here doesn't have to work as hard and then he can focus more on just growing the fruits themselves. But looks like we're gonna have a pretty big one because look at all of our mooncats just surrounding this thing. This thing is definitely going to be huge. So let's see how much progress our Triceratops actually makes on our King Cabbage. So it's at 21%. Let's see what he gets it to. Okay, we got a double. So now it is up to... It's still going. It's still going. 88%. Okay, that was actually pretty good. Thanks, my guy. Oh, dude, we got a heat wave right now. I wish this was a little bit later when this thing actually had some fruits grown on it, but I guess this will be 1 free mutation done, so we don't have to use as many mutations when trying to get it to rainbow. All right, to help speed this up a little bit, I'm going to use my main account here to use its watering cans to get our King Cabbage to fully grow in. So let's just get this thing to 100%. Whoa, it's moving. It's moving. That is scary. It's moving. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these medium pet toys on our Triceratops to speed up his cooldown a little bit, and that should also help us get another double hit so we can see how big this King Cabbage will actually be. This thing is actually crazy cool looking. This is probably one of the coolest looking plants in this game, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that this thing moves around and it looks like you're opening up a portal or something, that's pretty cool. I think we got our King Cabbage here. It's literally gonna take up the entire plant. I'm not even gonna be able to see the plant anymore. That is a big one. All right, well, let's see how much progress our Triceratops makes on it. All right, our Triceratops is about to hit it. Maybe it'll get another double hit so we can see how much progress this makes. Let's see. 33 minutes. That was it? That was it? That didn't even make a dent in this thing. What the heck? All right, well, since that 33 minutes literally didn't do anything, I'm gonna actually go ahead and use the grow all button here on my main account because I think we're gonna be here for hours if we don't do this because this is such a big King Cabbage. Oh my gosh, dude, this thing is humongous. It looks like a giant egg. All right, I'm gonna really quick favorite it so I don't accidentally pick it up. We're gonna go ahead and pick up all of our pets here. We're gonna spawn in a queen bee to get her cooldown started with a butterfly here to get this cooldown started as well. So the queen bee will cool down the butterfly and the butterfly will convert all the mutations we're about to apply to this thing and convert it to rainbow. And then over here on my main account, we're also going to spawn in a queen bee over there and also spawn in our kitsune. So that way, whenever we get rainbow on this thing, we can apply chakra to it right away. Let's go ahead and apply some sprays so we can actually get this thing converted to rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a pollinated spray, shocked, chocolate. We will use honey glazed, and then I'll have my main account just apply a windstruck on it so we have a free extra mutation since we don't really need the windstruck spray since we have a pterodactyl. And there we go. We have our 5 mutations on here now, and our butterfly will convert all these to rainbow, and then we can get started and actually apply other mutations to this so we can get the King Cabbage to have every single mutation in the game. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and AFK and let our pets do the work to get this thing rainbow, and then we'll come back and start applying some mutations to it. All right, our queen bee just cooled down our butterfly, and now our butterfly just applied the rainbow mutation to our king cabbage. So now our king cabbage is officially rainbow. So we can pick up these 2 pets, and then we can go ahead and favorite this so we don't accidentally pick it up. Let's go ahead and apply some of our mutations back onto it now. So we're gonna put our pollinated back onto it, sprayed, burnt, chocolate, fried, and honey glazed. And then over here in our main account, we're going to apply wet onto it, so that way this thing can easily get bloodlet from our kappas, or hopefully easily get it. We're going to apply cloud touch, and we're going to apply verdant, and then in a little bit our kitsune from our main account should come over and then apply chakra to this thing. So far that brings us up to 10 mutations on our king cabbage, so it's looking pretty good. And now we can start using some of our other pets to add some other mutations to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start spawning some pets in. So let's go ahead and start off by using 2 disco bees here, so we can get disco done and out of the way. We'll go ahead and do 2 chicken zombies, since this one usually takes a while. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and skip out on the cooked apple, since we already have burnt and fried on this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a corrupted scarlet and a tranquil scarlet. Since those guys have those mutations on them, we'll be able to get corrupt and tranquil onto our king cabbage. And then since the spaghetti sloth actually takes quite a bit of time, I'm going to spawn him in now, since he has 3 mutations he has to go through. And we do have the new aromatic mutation on him. So this guy has about 4 mutations we'll be able to get from him. So I'm going to spawn him in now to start making progress on all of those. And then finally, for right now, we're going to spawn in our Raiju. That way this guy can work to apply the static mutation onto our king cabbage. And to do that, we're going to spawn in the Raiju. We're going to go ahead and put a carrot seed down. And then we're going to apply the shocked mutation to our carrot. And then our Raiju will come over here, eat the shocked carrot, and then apply static to our king cabbage for that extra mutations. So yeah, we have quite a lot of work to do today. We have a lot of mutations to get through. So these guys will be our starting mutations, and then we'll get some more mutations shortly. And hopefully we'll be able to get a sandstorm, aurora, and also maybe a celestial. All right, so our kitsune is on the way over here to apply chakra to our king cabbage. There we go. We have the chakra mutation now onto our king cabbage. Look at that thing. That thing is huge. He's gonna go bring it over to my main account now. So let's see. All right, we just got regular chakra. We did not get foxfire chakra, which is fine. All right, so we just got static applied to our king cabbage here. So we have another mutation done and out of the way. So we're good there. We do have wet applied to this, by the way. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and pick up our Raiju. Oh, disco bee time. Hold on. Okay, failed. Anyways, we're gonna pick up our Raiju here, and then we're gonna replace him with a Kappa for now, so we can try and get Bloodlet done and out of the way before it is too late and we get this thing frozen by like a frost event or something. We do need the wet mutation to stay on this, so we can convert wet to Bloodlet. I believe if this does get drenched, that can be converted as well, but once it's frozen, it's over. All right, here goes our first mutation from the spaghetti sloth. Let's see which one we get. All right, we got sauce done. So now we just need pasta and meatballs, but thank you, Spaghetti Sloth, for your service. I gave one of my chicken zombies here a toy to boost his cooldown, and instantly when I did that, his cooldown finished, and then he applied zombified, so that is another mutation done and out of the way for our king cabbage. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies here, and we're gonna replace those guys with these new lobster pets, because these guys actually have a chance to apply Molten every 15 minutes and then apply Meteoric every 30 minutes. So yeah, that's a pretty long cooldown. It is going to take quite a long time to maybe get Meteoric, but we're gonna let them sit here and try to get us Meteoric, and Molten should be a pretty quick one though. But that'll be 2 new mutations we can get on our fruits like we used to be able to do when Brighter helped us with these videos. All right, perfect. We got disco applied finally to our king cabbage, so now we can go ahead and just pick up these 2 guys. So our disco bees are done and out of the way, and next we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a corrupted kitsune, so we can get corrupt chakra and then turn that into harmonized chakra. And then I'm also gonna spawn in a pterodactyl here, so we can attempt to get tempestuous done and added onto this. I'm gonna go ahead and plant down 3 carrot seeds as well. If our pets apply mutations to these, that's fine. Either way, our Spinosaurus will eventually eat the carrots and move this over. Our first lobster, by the way, just failed with Molten, and our second one did. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and apply, I guess, I'll put down 3 carrots here, so we have more opportunity to get tempestuous out of the way, and then we'll have the Spinosaurus eat it and move it over to our king cabbage. All right, I'm going to attempt to give my pterodactyl in here a toy, and also I'm going to give this lobster one. There we go, I got him. That way we can try to get tempestuous a little bit faster. Let's see. Oh, okay, so he did apply windstruck and twisted to one of our carrots, and this is the one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up, and pick this one up, and then tempestuous is done. I don't think he applied it directly to our king cabbage. No, we just got windstruck, but that's fine. What we're going to go ahead and do now is pick up our pterodactyl here, and then we're going to replace him with a Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus will eat the carrots, tempestuous mutation, and then move it over to our king cabbage. So we have that one done. Let's see if these guys will give us molten and meteoric. I don't know if they'll give us both, but we have 2 chances for both right now. Okay, failed meteoric. What about our other friend here? He failed molten, and we got molten. All right, so we at least got one of them done. We got molten added to our king cabbage, but they did fail meteoric, which was kind of expected. Let's see what our spaghetti sloth does. Hopefully he actually applies a mutation this time and doesn't bug out. There we go. We got meatball added to the king cabbage. So we just need that pasta mutation, and then this will turn into spaghetti. Hopefully we'll be able to get meteoric done soon. I will spawn in some queen bees shortly once our spaghetti sloth gives us all of his mutations. All right, I just gave our spaghetti sauce a toy, and he instantly gave us the aromatic mutation from his mutated pet effect. So now we do have aromatic added on to our king cabbage for another mutation done, which is perfect. So once the spaghetti sloth here is done with his next cooldown, he should apply pasta, and then we'll have this thing to have full spaghetti on it, which will be fantastic. All right, we have some good and bad news. The bad news is actually that this frost event spawned in, and yes, this will get us frozen because we do have wet applied, but we don't want to get frozen because we're still waiting for our Kappa to try and apply bloodlet, although it's a very rare chance for him to. But the good news is that our spaghetti sloth is about to apply his final mutation, or hopefully he doesn't skimp out and just not give it to us. So our spaghetti sloth is doing his thing. Let's see if we get pasta. Hopefully we do. Okay, interesting. He applied it to the carrot, which is actually fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick him up then, and we're gonna spawn in another Spinosaurus here, and that way they'll just eventually eat that off of this carrot and then move it over to our king cabbage. Oh, and look at that. We're getting acid rain as well. I almost forgot that acidic was a mutation that you can get as well, so this might be a good one. We can get this added onto our king cabbage. All right, let's see. Did we get acidic added onto this? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. What about this over here? Nope. All right, well, at least we got to experience the acid rain, but we did not get the acid rain. Okay, well, we've been trying to have our Kappa apply bloodlet, and we have had no luck because, as you can see, it is not on here, but that wet mutation that we had just got turned to frozen from this frost event, so our Kappa ran out of time, and he's kind of useless now. So we're gonna go ahead and pick him up, get him out of the way. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next pet here, which is the new junk bot from the Albert Stuff admin event. So the junk bot will actually have a chance to apply the oil mutation onto your plants. So we're going to let him attempt to apply the oil mutation next. All right, just like I expected, we have a nighttime event, which means we don't have to actually use our tanukis today because this should give us pretty much instant moonlit mutation on our king cabbage here. So let's just wait a second. Yep, there we go. Our king cabbage is now officially moonlit, which is another mutation done. All right, so I'm gonna feed some toys to my pets here. So we got a toy in our corrupted kitsune, hopefully get corrupted chakra. I'm gonna feed some to my Spinosauruses so they eat from this and move over pasta and tempestuous, hopefully. Let's see. Yep, perfect. We just got pasta and tempestuous, the exact ones we needed. So we can go ahead and pick up this carrot, and then we can go ahead and get rid of these Spinosauruses for now. I guess in the meantime, then, I'm going to spawn in a queen bee to finally help us get some faster cooldowns on all of our pets here. We'll spawn in one of these hot dog dash hounds here, and these guys will actually help with cooldowns as well with the queen bee. All right, we just got a double trouble mutation set done to our king cabbage. Both of our scarlets finally just applied corrupt and tranquil onto our king cabbage, so those are both done and out of the way finally. That took a couple hours there, but we can go ahead and pick both of these guys up now. So now it's pretty much just up to the junk bot to apply oil and these lobsters to apply meteoric, and our corrupt kitsune to apply corrupt chakra onto this thing so we can have harmonized chakra. But they did make some good progress. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is spawn in another hot hot dog dash down here to help with cooldowns. And then I guess we'll spawn in 1 peacock as well. All right, we got some good news here. We got a heat wave event, but I guess this is also bad news because I literally can't get to the plant itself to put more tanning mirrors down inside of it. So hopefully it will hit still. I don't know. I guess we'll try and get as close as we can. Oh, okay, it just hit. We're good. We got it. Our king cabbage is now paradisal, which is a much better multiplier than just verdant itself. Okay, as you saw there for just a second, this carrot is actually lit up and it is finally corrupt chakra. Dude, we've been waiting for these mutations for such a long time. It's been hours and we finally just got corrupt chakra. We have not gotten meteoric or oil yet, dude. We're still waiting for these. It is taking forever. But since we did get corrupt chakra, I'm going to go ahead and pick up these carrots. I had them laid out so we had more chances for corrupt chakra since it was taking forever. And then I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus will eventually eat this corrupt chakra and then move that over to our king cabbage for that mutation to be added on there so we can get harmonized chakra. All right, so hopefully our Spinosaurus only eats the corrupt chakra from this carrot. I didn't realize we got pollinated from our queen bee. I've only had the queen bee out for cooldowns, but here we go. Please just eat the corrupt chakra. I've been waiting hours to get that one. And he ate the pollinated and he just put it right back onto the carrot. What is going on, dude? What is wrong with the pets today? I don't understand. Yo, we finally got meteoric added to the king cabbage, which took a very, very long time. So I actually thought that we maxed out on stackable mutations because looking at the wiki, it says you can have up to 24 stackable mutations. I thought this thing was completely maxed out to the point we couldn't get any more mutations on it, but now I'm not very sure because we just got meteoric from our lobster added on to our king cabbage. Okay, he just did the same thing and reapplied pollinated again. Okay. I guess instead of the Spinosaurus, we might as well try the T-Rex because our T-Rex will eat them and then spread them no matter what to multiple plants. I guess we can actually do like 2 T-Rexes and then maybe like 2 Spinosauruses just to guarantee that we can get corrupt chakra moved over. All right, our T-Rexes are about done with their cooldowns here. If they can't move this corrupt chakra over to our king cabbage, then I've kind of given up hope that we are able to get any more mutations on this thing at this point because why is nothing going on to it anymore? So let's see if they actually eat and apply. Okay, there we go. We got corrupt chakra moved over finally, so this is good. We have harmonized chakra, so that is good. These guys are done with their business here, so I actually can just go ahead and pick up all these because that's all we needed. All right, and that is pretty good. Now, we pretty much just have to get oil done and added, but this junk bot has literally failed like 20, 30 times in the last however many hours I've been at this. I've been at this for almost 5 hours, dude. I give up on the oil, dude. My head is killing me, and I just can't keep going on listening to him say grow a garden 5 million times. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick him up. I am gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 raptors to attempt to get the amber mutation. These guys have been aging quite nicely. They have a better chance now to get us amber. Not the best, but much better than they were at. And let's go ahead and take a look at our king cabbage here. So this thing is up to 22 mutations. What if we separate some of these, like tempestuous would have 23 mutations. Spaghetti would make us at 25 mutations. Paradisal would be 26 mutations. And then harmonized chakra would be at 27 mutations. So if we're able to get amber, would be at 28 mutations. And if we actually did get oil and some of those other mutations like aurora, sandy into ceramic, and celestial, we would be way past 30 mutations. And this thing would be worth even more. But this is a good stopping point. So we're gonna pick this up. Let's see if we get amber. Okay, we did not get amber. That's unfortunate, but we do have this gigantic king cabbage here. So I can only imagine this thing will be worth a lot of money. Hopefully we can get over 1 trillion, but I guess we'll see. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see the value of this thing with Steven, and hopefully we get some good money for it. So Steven, what would you give us for this big king cabbage today? All right, so this thing is worth 197 billion. I honestly expected a lot more than that just because of how many mutations we got on it and because of the size of this thing. But honestly, that's not bad. But for this many mutations, I feel like that should be buffed a little bit. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is this a good value for this big of a king cabbage with this many mutations, or should it be buffed and be worth more? So we're going to start off, though, with the sprinklers this time instead of the mooncat. So we're going to go ahead and put down our grandmaster sprinkler. regular, master, godly, advanced, basic, and then we're going to plant our cacao seed right in that mix there. All right, and then we will go ahead and spawn in some of our triceratopses here. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 3 of these guys so they can help us grow this thing a little bit faster. Actually, the cacao seems to grow pretty quick. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do then is, since we don't need all 3 of these guys, I'm going to keep one of these age 9 ones out, and then we're going to go ahead and pick up these other 2. All right, there we go. Our cacao tree is looking nice, and then we're going to go ahead and spawn in our mooncats now. That way they can try to affect the fruit. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying to use the pancake stacks, and that I'm triggering you by not using the pancake stack, but you know what, dude? I don't have any pancake stacks yet, okay? The cooking update's very grindy. I need more time to get some pancakes. I'm sorry. All right, but anyways, we have all of our mooncats here. They should give us some good growth for our fruits before the triceratops smacks into our cacao tree. So we're going to let the cacao tree just soak on these sprinklers, and we're going to trowel it into a pile of mooncats. This is a good stack right here. Look at all these mooncats right here. All right, this should give us a pretty big cacao. Look how many are right here. Let's let this last one finish sleeping, and then let's move this back into the stack of sprinklers, and let's wait for our triceratops here to nail our cacao tree, and hopefully we get a big one to grow. And it looks like we might already have some big ones. There's something starting up here, which I think means this is going to be a big one, because usually they don't start that high up off the tree like that. So I think this is good news for us. Okay, we got some big ones. There's still one up here floating, so I think we might get a bigger one. I guess for now we'll move some of these so we can try to get even bigger cacaos. I'm gonna favorite this one since it seems to be the biggest. And oh, we got a nighttime event, dude. This is perfect timing and all, but I still gotta get this thing rainbow. I'm not ready for nighttime yet. All right, our cacaos have grown in. I really can't tell which one is the biggest one out of all these. All right, so I think I'm gonna favorite this one. We'll pick up, well, I don't actually know. Hold on. All right, I think these are definitely the 2 biggest ones here. So I think this will be our winning cacao today, the one that we already had favorited. So we'll pick this one up, and now we have our winning cacao. I think this is a good size. I don't really know the biggest cacao size, but I think this will work. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of these pets we have, and let's go ahead and get some mutations on this thing. So it already came with Moonlit for free since we have this event going on. So I'm gonna throw a Windstruck on there, Pollinated, Chocolate, and Shocked. And there we go. We have 5 mutations on it, which will now be converted to Rainbow once we spawn in this butterfly here. And to get that butterfly's cooldown to be a little bit faster, we're going to spawn in a Queen Bee, and the Queen Bee will cool down the butterfly, and the butterfly will convert this to Rainbow. Now, a lot of people have been saying, oh, Bandites used the Mimic Octopus instead of the Queen Bee. The cooldown's even faster. It's actually not. The Mimic Octopus is about 19 minutes, while this is only about 17 and a half. So you save a minute and a half. Big brain math, okay? All right, so we're gonna let them do their work, get this thing to Rainbow, and then in the meantime over here on my main account, I'm going to spawn in a Queen Bee over here as well, but paired with my Kitsune. So whenever these cooldowns reset, the Kitsune will come over here, steal my cacao, and apply chakra to it. All right, so our Queen Bee's cooldown is about done here. She's about to cool down our butterfly so we can get the butterfly to take all of these and convert it to Rainbow. Now, I know people are going to be calling me stupid because I forgot I could just keep one of those cacaos I got Moonlit and then Spinosaurus it over to this big cacao later, but we're just going to use Tanukis anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, there we go. The cacao is now Rainbow, so we're good to go. We no longer need this butterfly or Queen Bee for now. So I'm going to go ahead and favorite it now so I don't accidentally pick it up. We're going to get our sprays out. We're going to put Pollinated back onto it. We're going to put Fried. We're going to put Shocked, Chocolate, Honey Glazed, Verdant, Burnt, and Wet. And then we're going to go over here on our main account, and we're going to apply Cloud Touch to it. And now we are up to 10 mutations on our cacao. We'll have 11 in just a second. Once our Kitsune comes over here, steals it, and applies chakra to it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get our pets started then so they can start applying their mutations. We're going to start actually today by spawning in these lobsters here. But these guys literally take up to 30 minutes to try and apply Meteoric and 15 minutes to try and apply Molten. And we're also going to spawn in our Tranquil Scarlet and our Corrupted Scarlet to try and get Tranquil and Corrupt on our cacao, since those guys take forever as well to apply those mutations. All right, and then next up, we're going to go ahead and spawn in 2 Disco Bees to attempt to get the Disco mutation applied. We will spawn in 2 Chicken Zombies to try and get Zombified applied, and that takes up all 8 of our slots here. So we're going to let these guys do their thing, and then we'll go ahead and throw some more pets into the mix. But for now, this should be good. All right, my Kitsune from my main account just stole my big cacao here, so that should have applied chakra to it. Let's see. Oh, they're all up here now. All right, yep, there we go. We have chakra applied to our cacao, so that is another mutation done. I'm going to delete these little ones growing in still. That is done and out of the way. Now we're just going to be waiting for these other pets to finish their cooldowns here. We have some bad news. Maybe I should have spawned in my Kappas first, but there is a frost event, which means this is now frozen. We didn't get Bloodlet from the Kappas. But usually the Kappas take forever anyways, and we hardly ever get Bloodlet from them, so I guess that's fine. We'll still get Moonlit and a ton of other mutations done shortly. I'm not too worried about it. This usually happens anyways because of how many times the Frost event spawns in. The Kappas are nearly useless at this point. All right, their cooldowns are about done. Come on. Meteoric failed. All right, we got Molten. So what we're gonna do is just keep this one here, and we'll eventually use a Spinosaurus to move that over to our big one. And I guess we'll just do that with all of our other pets as well if we get mutations on other cacaos that grow in. So that's fine. We'll just keep them here. I hate that these boosts only last 5 minutes, because look at this. I have to waste another toy because I was only a few seconds off, 4 seconds off. They didn't make it so the toy doesn't have a timer on it. It just gives you one boost, and once the pet uses the ability, the boost is gone. Because I'm sick of this happening. Jandel, you've already taken so much from us. Actually, you haven't done anything. But anyways, you've taken this from me. Tranquil and Corrupt both failed. These pets just hate me today. It's confirmed. All right, our Disco Bees are about to attempt to apply their mutation. Somehow this one bugged, by the way, so this cooldown is now longer than the actual Disco Bees ability. But anyways, first Disco Bees going. Failed. Okay, well, hopefully this next one gives us Disco. We usually don't have this many fails with the Disco Bees, dude. I don't know what's going on. Why do they hate us today? Why do all of our pets hate us today? It's crazy. All right, Biscuit, what are we doing? We're gonna do Disco, please. Failed. Bro, what is going on with the Disco Bees today? I don't understand. This is stressful. This is actually pretty stressful. Anyways, this cacao we originally got Molten on now has Disco on it from our Disco Bees, so we are officially free of waiting for the Disco Bees, dude. We actually got Disco on something. We're gonna use a Spinosaurus in a little bit to move this over to our big cacao. All right, so we finally have another mutation done and out of the way. It's taken forever, dude, but we're gonna go ahead now and spawn in a Raiju because this is a guaranteed mutation we can get done and out of the way. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn this guy in with a carrot seed here, and then we're going to apply the shock spray onto this carrot, and the Raiju will eat this carrot in just a little bit and then convert the shock into static and apply that to our cacao. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a pterodactyl here, and this pterodactyl should apply tempestuous to either our cacao or to one of our carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and place a couple more down so he has more chance. All right, so our Raiju's cooldown is about done here. He's about to eat this shocked carrot, turn that to static, apply to our cacao. I'm actually gonna move these carrots out of the way because the pterodactyl has a little bit of a longer cooldown, and that way we can focus on this guy just trying to get that static applied to our cacao. Also, our meteoric has failed, which is going to probably happen all day today. Here we go. Carrot's getting 8. Static's getting applied. Boom. There we go. Static is done. We go ahead and pick up our Raiju here. He is done with his work. We're going to go ahead and spawn in some more carrots again, just so our pterodactyl has more opportunity to give us tempestuous. So now our pterodactyl is about to do his thing. Hopefully we get tempestuous on something here. We should get it on at least one plant, I would think. Okay, we got Twisted and Windstruck on one of our carrots, which is this one. There's tempestuous, done and out of the way, and perfect timing because we just got a windy event. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up these regular carrots and the windy carrot. We're going to keep this tempestuous one here. Now with that, we're going to go ahead and pick up this pterodactyl since his work is done. We're going to spawn in a Spinosaurus. So a Spinosaurus will start eating these mutations to give it to our big one here. So he'll eat 3 mutations at a time so we can get this tempestuous moved over, and then we can get hopefully Disco or Molten moved over because we don't need that static or that verdant. And then we're also going to go ahead and spawn in a Corrupt Kitsune so we can start working on trying to get this guy to give us the Corrupt Chakra mutation so we can get this to Harmonized Chakra. Okay, I'm going to wait for the Spinosaurus to have one round done because otherwise he's going to probably eat stuff that we don't need. Also, Tranquil and Corrupt just failed again, so that's always fun. All right, first chicken zombie. Let's see. Can we please get zombified?
Nope.
Failed. This is just like a common thing, I guess. They just all dislike me. That's very sad. I hope you know I have feelings. Maybe Bella will come in clutch, though, for us. Bella, don't let us down. Don't let us down. Please don't let us down. Please. I'm very upset right now. Why do they keep letting me down? Why do they hate me? Why? Alright, so our Spinosaurus is about to eat its first set of mutations. Now, this guy eats from different plants and then applies it to one fruit. So he should eat from the carrot, and then he should eat from this cacao here with Disco, Verdant, Static, and Molten on it. He should be coming over here to get his snack now. Let's see. Alright, he's gonna eat that tempestuous first. Okay, he applied tempestuous, but I don't know why he didn't eat from the cacao inside over here. All right, well, anyways, our corrupt kitsune, his cooldown here is almost done as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in these carrots now, or start planting them, because this guy can shoot his mutation at like 9 different fruits, so he might as well get all of these ready. So whenever he uses his ability, we can get that corrupt chakra done. Come on, you gotta give us that corrupt chakra. Let's go. He's shooting out. All right, we got it to 1 carrot at least. Actually, 2 carrots. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up. Let's go ahead and keep 1 carrot there for our Spinosaurus to eat from. And our corrupt kitsune is done with his work. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up now. He's good to go. So for now, since he's gonna convert that over to our big one, we gotta get some more pets done here. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in our spaghetti sloth here next, because he has aromatic on him, and we also have to get all 3 of his mutations to combine and to give us spaghetti. All right, we have some good stuff happening. We just got a heat wave event to spawn in, so we should be able to easily... Oh, wait, actually, let me move this over a little bit. Just like that. Sun-dried applied, so now we should have Paradisal on there. Spinosaurus just moved Corrupt Chakra over as well to our big cacao here. So now we have Harmonized Chakra from that Corrupt Chakra combining with regular Chakra, and then our Verdant should be turning into Paradisal any second now. Looks like it only hit 1 of our cacao so far, which is, I guess, that one, because that one has Paradisal. So hopefully it hits this again, so we can get this one to become Paradisal. Our spaghetti sloth is also applying a mutation. Yeah, we now have pasta on this little cacao up here. So we just have to get meatballs and sauce now. So we're going to probably eventually just let this guy apply all of his mutations and then spawn in another Spinosaurus or T-Rex. We need pretty much all of these mutations now on this one to be moved over to our big cacao. But there we go. This cacao just got hit by a sunbeam. So now it is Paradisal and it has Harmonized Chakra. All right, our spaghetti sloth is about to apply his next mutation onto our cacao, or one of our cacaos, I guess. So let's see which one he targets. I think it's the big one this time. All right, we got meatball on the big cacao. So we have meatball done, and then on the smaller one, we do have pasta. So now all we need from that spaghetti sloth is sauce, but then we also need to get aromatic from his mutation shard that he has on him. All right, our lobsters are both also almost cooled down as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him some toys here to maybe, just maybe, apply molten, or not molten, meteoric. Maybe, just maybe apply meteoric to our big cacao. We don't need molten anymore, we just need meteoric, but they're kind of bad at doing their jobs. They have like a tiny percent. So hopefully they help us out. Dude, I missed the admin events. I missed my boy Brider spawning in all the admin events. That was an easier time. Meteoric was pretty much guaranteed as soon as it hit your plot. All right. I expected that fail. All right, come on, other lobster, please. Meteoric. Meteoric. No way! He actually got meteoric applied to one of our cacaos. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was gonna get my heart broken again. I guess he has another molten chance here, so let's just see if he'll give us molten to our big cacao. No, he did not. That's fine. Did we actually get molten at any chance? No, we didn't. All right, well, that's fine. Our lobsters are finally done, though, so we can go ahead and pick these guys up. They've been stressing me out, man. I can't lie. They've been really stressing me out, but they're done. They're out of the way, so now we can go ahead and spawn in a junk bot to try and get the oil mutation and a tanuki to try and get moonlit. All right, it's a little loud. We have a heat wave and a thunderstorm going on. Let me turn my volume down a bit. All right. Anyways, our spaghetti sloth is attempting to apply another mutation. Hopefully this time we get sauce. That's the last one we need from his main ability. There we go. We got sauce. So we just need this Spinosaurus to move over pasta from this to our big one, and that way we'll have spaghetti done. All right, and next up, our tanuki's almost done with its cooldown. So if I just give it a boost here, that should pretty much finish it. There we go. We have about 30 seconds left. So hopefully we can get moonlit done and out of the way. And then also our junk bot's pretty close, and our chicken zombies. So let's just see if we get any more mutations here. Hopefully tanuki will give us moonlit pretty quick and early on. I kind of doubt it. Usually tanuki just does like random stuff like shekels, but you know, we'll try. All right, let's see what tanuki does. Hello? Shekels. Like I was saying, kind of goofy. All right, but maybe our chicken zombies will finally be our friends and give us zombified. I don't care which cacao at this point to give it to us on. We have so many of these things growing in, and our Spinosaurus is just gonna have to do a heavy job later of moving everything over. Please, just give us zombified. Please, I've been waiting. Failed. Why? Why? What is wrong with you? All right, Bella. Bella, where are you, Bella? Please, let me talk to you for a second. Hey, come on. You can do this. It's really not that hard. It's actually super easy. You can do this. Just throw up all over my cacao, give me zombified, and we'll be good. Come on. Let's go. We finally got zombified. All right, so these chicken zombies are done. We don't need you guys anymore. Thank you for your service. Bella, you did a great job throwing up on the cacaos. Please, spaghetti sloth, aromatic, please. And failed. All right, that's fine. At least your other friends helped us out. All right, so we made some good progress. Junkbot, don't let us down. Oil. Ready? Oil. Come on. Oil or oil? Nope. Dude failed. Buddy, you failed. You failed. What are you doing, man? All right, well, we'll see what we get done here. Any Aurora on the big guy? I know people are gonna be like, oh, Bandites, just use the magnifying glass. Just use the magnifying glass. Well, I don't use it because I like to reveal the price at the end of the video. That way we don't know what the price is until the end of the video. Otherwise, it's not as fun. Oh, what just happened? The Spinosaurus, the cooldown just went to 0 and then she didn't do anything. Jandal, buddy, what is going on with your game, bro? Why don't these pets work? What's going on? Why won't my Spinosauruses eat from the fruits that are in front of them? Why are they too scared to touch the fruits that aren't favorited? What's going on, man? All right, so I just got back from being AFK for like an hour and literally nothing really happened besides my spaghetti sloth fully got spaghetti done on our big cacao, but he did not get aromatic on anything yet. And the other thing is our Spinosauruses did not move any mutations over at all. So while we were gone, we just got more mutations built up on our cacao. So like this one here that had meteoric on it now has verdant, windstruck, wet, and pasta, but nothing was moved over. This one that had zombified on it just got tranquil, which is good progress. We did need that, but now we still need to get that moved over to the big cacao. But for some reason, our Spinosauruses just kind of bugged out. Like they didn't do anything at all. I don't know why they're so bugged right now. So if the T-Rexes don't work, then I literally don't know what's happening. I guess I'll try to rejoin the game and see if that helps. But if that doesn't help, then I'm really hoping that these T-Rexes will be able to actually move our mutations over. Again, I don't know why the Spinosauruses couldn't do it. So let's see if the T-Rexes can do it. And if they can't do it, then I don't know what's going on, dude. Okay, that's good. Okay, perfect. The T-Rexes are able to move mutations over. So it will take a little bit longer because they pretty much just duplicate it to the other cacaos we have. So that one just ate meteoric and applied it to all the other cacaos besides the big one. But that's fine. As long as I can move these over slowly over time, then we should be able to get all of these on to our big cacao. It might take a couple extra hours though, just because these guys are a little bit slower at doing so. But let's see if we can get this other one to speed up its cooldown and then apply one of the mutations over to the big one. So I have been recording this video on and off for the last 7 hours, mostly AFKing for the last 3 or 4 hours, waiting for my T-Rexes and Spinosauruses to move mutations over to my big cacao fruit. And for whatever reason, they're just not moving stuff over. The Spinosauruses did at first, but they'd only move like 1 mutation over, which is not right. They should bite a couple mutations and move them over. And then the T-Rexes did the same. They moved like 1 or 2 over, and then there's been just like no progress since. I don't know what's going on, why they're stuck, why there's no progress. I don't know if the pets are just bugged right now, but I'm literally not able to move my other mutations over. So in total though, on the main cacao plant we have here, let me show you, we do have 17 mutations, and if we separate some of these, like tempestuous, we'd have 18, spaghetti would bring us to 20, paradisal 21, frozen 22, and harmonized chocolate would bring us up to 23. But then if you look at some of these other plants, we could have gotten oil, so that would have been 24 mutations. Tranquil and zombified would have brought us up to 25 and 26 mutations. And then on this one, we have molten and disco. I can't really show it very good, but that'd bring us up to like 27 mutations. And if we get amber now, we'd have like 28. So what I'm going to do is check the price of our big cacao with all these current mutations on it. And then I will show you the price of what it would be if all of those other mutations that we got were actually put onto it, because they're just not getting moved over from my T-Rex and my Spinosaurus. So I don't know what else I could do. So I'm just going to pick this up, show you guys the value, and then show you what it would have been if those mutations got moved over and if my pets weren't being weird today. Anyways, without further ado, I am going to go ahead and check the value of this with our boy Steven over here. So Steven, what would you give us for this big cacao? Okay, so this thing is valued at 26 billion, which is pretty good for not having all those extra mutations on this that we were trying to get. All right, so here is the image of what we would have made if we actually had all those mutations moved over. I wish we could have gotten them moved over. I don't know what was going on today, why the pets were being so buggy, but we would have ended up at about 39.5 billion, which is quite an increase compared to what we were at around 20 billion. So that's actually a pretty good increase from those extra mutations. And this is with all the mutations that we would have had on it if we moved over from our other cacaos, and this includes the weight that we had at about 80.2. So let's say that the total today is about 39,516,447,207 billion, and I think that is where we should have actually been if this all went correctly. But after 7 hours, my pets have not moved it over to the big one. I think we got a bug, man. All right, there we go. We have 8 moon cats spawned in, and I know usually I spawn in the triceratops, but we are again gonna do this a little bit differently. So before I get the triceratops in here, actually I will pick up one of these because I will probably need them in just a second. I am going to actually spawn in my sugar apples again. We're gonna go ahead and plant down 6 of these, and I'm gonna go ahead and also spawn in my apple gazelle, and we're actually gonna get one of the mutations done before the plant is actually grown here, and that is the warp mutation, of course. So we'll go ahead and get that done real quick. I know you're probably wondering, nothing is grown in, so how am I gonna do this? I'm actually gonna go ahead and use my main account to hit grow all here so we can get everything done, and then we'll focus on getting a big aether fruit in just a second. All right, so surprisingly, we actually did get some pretty big aether fruits, but these are not going to be the ones we use, so we're going to wait on that. But because we have our apple gazelle, we are going to go ahead and pick up the sugar apples until we get that warp mutation done. There we go. We have a warped sugar apple somewhere in the mix in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that warped sugar apple there. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and reclaim these other sugar apples, so they're just out of the way. So now we will focus on getting a big aether fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and use my sprinklers here. So we'll put down a grandmaster sprinkler right there. We're going to put down a master sprinkler. Looks like I need to go get another godly, but we'll do an advanced. We'll do a basic, and let me go grab a godly real quick. Actually, I have some godlies on my main account, so I'm just gonna throw one in the mix right here. All right, there we go. I accidentally put 2 godlies down, but that works. And also, we did just get the chakra mutation applied from my main account's kitsune, which that will actually save us some time. I forgot that was actually spawned in over there, but yeah, we just got the chakra mutation. There we go. So now we have our setup here. We can go ahead and pick up this apple gazelle, and we go ahead and spawn in a triceratops now. And now the moon cats and the sprinklers will work to get us a pretty big aether fruit. Now this one actually looks pretty big, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one because I think we can get bigger than that. And we're gonna work with the mooncast sprinklers to get a big aether fruit, and then our triceratops will speed up the growth a little bit so we can see what size we get, and then we can actually go ahead and start getting the mutations applied. All right, so we're just gonna wait around for a second here, and once the triceratops hits this, we'll see how big of an aether fruit we get. If it's big enough, we can go ahead and finish it off by using the grow all again. And I guess we can also, I believe I still have some toys here I can use. Yes, I do. So I guess I can go ahead and just boost our triceratops to hopefully get a double hit, so that way we don't have to use the grow all. I don't know how big of one we're gonna get and how long it'll take to grow, so we'll see. But I'm gonna give this these 2 minutes here, and let's see what kind of aether fruit we get. All right, so we have a pretty good group of mooncats that actually just started sleeping right here, so I'm gonna hopefully get a good boost of a size for our next aether fruit. Oh, he's hitting the sugar apple. Okay, now he's coming over here. Oh my, ow, ow, it just spawned on top of me. Okay, well, this one grew in instantly, but this one is still going, so I think this one may be bigger, unless it only targeted that one fruit. I thought it just targets the whole plant, but all right, hold on. I'll do a comparison in a second. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna hit the grow all button real quick again. It's really hard to tell because it's very bright in here and stuff, but I believe this one is bigger than this one. The little sprout at the top here is bigger, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this one then, and it looks like we have our aether fruit. We do have the glimmering mutation on it already, which will count as one of the 5 mutations we need for rainbow, which is nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a couple sprays here then, since we do have that. The silver doesn't count, but everything else will count here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put pollinated on it. We're gonna put chocolate on it. Hello. Hello. Oh, I'm spraying the tree, dude. I've been on vacation, dude. My brain isn't working. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a honey sprinkler down on it, and that should give us 4 mutations. So I'm gonna use my main account for that last one. All right, I went ahead and put cloud touched on it, so now we have our 5 mutations, and we are good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my queen bee now with a butterfly. Queen bee will cool down the butterfly. Butterfly will convert these 5 mutations into rainbow, and then we can go ahead and get started on getting all of the mutations that we need. Now, The only problem is with this current fairy event, the glimmering plants are like insane, dude. Like you get so many of them, and then when we use the Spinosauruses, they just want to move over glimmering a bunch of times. So we're probably gonna have to try and collect all the glimmering plants at some point and just get them out of the way. There's just so many of them. Yeah, anyways, we should be good now. I'm gonna go ahead and wait this out. Let's get Rainbow, and then we'll come back and get this thing mutated with lots of nice, beautiful mutations. All right, so we are back, and our queen bee is now going to go ahead and cool down our butterfly and turn this aether fruit into an actual rainbow aether fruit. So there we go. Butterfly is cooled down, and all of these mutations go away, but we get the rainbow mutation. There we go. Perfect. So now we have that rainbow mutation for that 50 times multiplier. We can go ahead and favorite our aether fruit here and go ahead and start applying some sprays. So we'll go ahead and put chocolate on it. We'll go ahead and put the glimmering on it. Actually, I'll save this glimmering because we're going to get glimmering either way. We literally have a bunch of glimmering over here. So I'll save that. We'll put pollinated on it, and we'll go ahead and put our honey sprinkler down to get honey glazed on it. And then over here on my main account, we have quite a few sprays we can go ahead and use over here. So on this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cloud touch spray on it. We're gonna put the shock spray on it, and we're gonna go ahead and put luminous on it. So there we go. We now are up to 7 mutations on here. A lot of my sprays, I guess, have run out. I usually do have the verdant spray, but we're gonna be using our scarlets for a while anyway, so we definitely will get verdant done at some point. And then we don't do fried and burnt anymore because we usually get ceramic. But if we had those 3, then we'd be up to 10 mutations, and we do have chakra over here, so we would have 11. But we're gonna get all that moved over in just a minute. But this is a little bit less than what we normally have initially, but we'll work on it. So don't worry, okay? I got this. But we're gonna go ahead and start getting some of our guaranteed pet mutations done and out of the way. So we're gonna get the pterodactyl done, so we can get that tempestuous out of the way. Corrupt kitsune, so we can get corrupt chakra out of the way, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the peach wasp for plasma, lemon lion for brain rot. We're gonna get a golden goose in here, so we can get the fortune egg, and we're gonna get a raiju, so we can get shocked, turn that into static, and apply it to our aether fruit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some carrots spawned in here. So our raiju, pterodactyl, and corrupt kitsune have a better chance to get those mutations applied, and then we can get some spinos later to move all these over. So we're gonna go ahead and put 9 carrots down here, and since I ran out of shock sprays on this account, I'm gonna go ahead and use my main account since it has some to apply shock to one of these carrots. But we have a shock carrot that my raiju will eat and apply static to my other plants. And then we'll get our pterodactyl to give us tempestuous on one of these, corrupt kitsune to give us corrupt chakra, and that will be good. So those guys are out of the way. Now we're gonna get the jackalopes done to give us the sandy mutation a little bit faster, since these guys will give us sandy in about a minute or a couple minutes here. Once sandy is out of the way, we'll swap them out and continue with some other pets that we have, which I think next we'll actually do the new phoenix pet, since we do have 2 of them, and we can get that flaming mutation. Although I think flaming might be guaranteed, or it's at like a 20% chance, but I'll see once our jackalopes are done. Let's go ahead and wait and see if we get the sandy mutation done and out of the way. Hopefully we do, because we will need that to get ceramic in a little bit. Okay, this is actually good. Now, that's not good that the jackalopes failed. That actually makes me really sad. But we do have some acid rain, so we have a chance to get the acidic mutation applied to one of our fruits. If we get it at least on one fruit, we can easily have our spinos move it over to our aether fruit, and that'll be some extra multipliers for us, which will be very nice. Very, very nice. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for these jackalopes still, so I'll be back. Okay, so we just got the sandy mutation applied to a carrot, so our jackalopes are done, which is perfect. I'm actually gonna go ahead and try and spawn some more carrots in those so we can get that acidic mutation a little bit more easily, because it's struggling. Okay, so we got to get acidic on something, so I'm going to spawn some more carrots in so we have an easier chance to get this. I'll probably get rid of these carrots in a little bit, but just a couple more so we can try and get acidic out of the way. All right, but our jackalopes are done. We have sandy on this carrot here, so that is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and move this over to our buffet platter for our spinos. We can go ahead and pick up these jackalopes here, and with that I'm going to replace them with the new phoenix pets. Now these phoenixes, it says every 6 minutes travels between 4 random fruits in your garden, which gets the flaming mutations. Fruits passed have 20% chance to mutate as well. Okay, so I think this is guaranteed, but anyways, okay, so our lemon lion just applied the brain rot mutation to this carrot, which is good. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to our buffet platter as well. All right, so lemon lion is done and out of the way. So yeah, this one does look guaranteed because it says travels between 4 random fruits, and those get the flaming mutation, but I guess fruits that are passed also can get mutated mutated. So we might get a lot of flaming mutations, but we'll see how this works. It's our first time trying it, you know, so we got to test the waters a little bit. But anyways, our lemon lion is done, so I'm going to go ahead and pick him up so we can get him out of the way. Our pterodactyl will be trying to give us tempestuous in just a second here, and then our golden goose will be laying an egg for us. Our raiju will be giving us static, so we have quite a few mutations that we're about to get done and out of the way. But since the lemon lion's done, let's see who we can replace him with. Oh, you know what? I guess we can go ahead and spawn in a mandrake, or actually I'll do that in a second because we got to get a couple mandrakes so we can try to get the rot mutation done. Also, we did not get acidic on anything, which is insane, but hey man, we'll get that later, maybe. Now there is a new ascended chakra mutation, but we will have to get foxfire chakra, foxfire corrupt chakra, and then regular corrupt chakra and regular chakra, which we... Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. We did just get tempestuous though on carrots, and we did just get the static mutation as well, so that is good. But yeah, so we have a chance to get that new ascended chakra, but we do need to get like all 4 versions of chakra, which might take a long time. So I guess we'll see and maybe try and get it. But I wonder if they'll make that a pet mutation one eventually, like the Dawnbound mutation, since you have to do a lot of work for that ascended chakra. But it is a really good multiplier if we do get it. But anyways, our Raiju's done. We do have the static mutation applied, and Pterodactyl's done. We do have tempestuous. Let's go ahead and move some of these to the platter over here for our Spinos again. So I'm gonna go ahead and travel a static carrot over here. There we go. Here's tempestuous. I'll move tempestuous over here. I'm gonna go ahead and leave these here though for our corrupt kitsune to try and apply corrupt chakra to one of those. And next up is our golden goose. He's going to lay his egg, and then our phoenix should give us the flaming mutation as well. I gotta get this this cockatrice spawned in because he's another guaranteed mutation we can get now, and he can actually give us the toxic mutation. And we didn't get acidic, but we can definitely get toxic done because this is guaranteed. So we're gonna get him done out of the way. I almost forgot about him. Okay, yeah, so they do guarantee a flaming mutation on something. So Phoenix is done. We actually don't really need 2 of them at a time, but that's fine. Our golden goose is now going to lay an egg. Let's see, is he gonna poop? Okay, I was seeing if he would poop it out on me. Anyways, we got a fortune egg, so we're gonna go ahead and add this fortune egg over here to the platter. We're gonna go ahead and move one of these flaming carrots to the platter as well, and that is looking pretty good. So we can go ahead and pick up golden goose. And is there anything else like his guaranteed mutations? It's been like a week, dude. I haven't recorded in a week. I was on vacation, as you guys may have seen from the other videos. So I am trying to think of what I need because it's been a little bit. Okay, I think what I'll go ahead and do next actually is get the rot mutation done out of the way. So I'm going to spawn into these mandrakes, but the mandrakes are spawned in. We're going to go ahead and get an advanced sprinkler set up right here, and then we're going to spawn in some mandrake seeds, and we're going to attempt to get the rot mutation done real quick. All right, we got rot applied to a sugar apple over here. So rot is done. All right, cool. So that is done. We can go ahead and get rid of those mandrakes now, and I guess we'll start getting our chicken zombies to try and give us zombified, and our disco bees to try and give us disco. So let's go ahead and spawn some of those guys in. I guess I can do 3 disco bees, and I think I can do 3 chicken zombies, right? No, I think I can only do 2. Yeah, that's fine. All right, well, these guys will work to give us disco and zombified, since those are a little bit easier to get, and then we can get ready to set up for our AFK grind and get all the AFK mutations done over some time. All right, our corrupted kitsune is going to give us the corrupt chakra mutation now, hopefully. Please don't fail us. Please don't fail us. Okay, there we go. We got corrupt chakra. We are good. Corrupt kitsune is done and out of the way, so we can go ahead and get at least harmonized chakra. I would like to try and get ascended chakra at some point for that extra multiplier, but probably gonna take forever. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and move him out of the way. Our peach wasp is almost done to finally give us plasma, and our cockatrice should be giving us toxic in a second here. With that extra pet slot though, I am gonna go ahead and spawn in another chicken zombie so we can work to get zombified done. I'm gonna go ahead and move this corrupt chakra carrot over here to our platter yet again, and this will just be an easier way so we can go ahead and look through all these later and make sure that our Spinos eat everything and move it over to our Aether fruit. I can pick up that static carrot there. We're gonna go ahead and wait to try and get toxic done, and maybe disco, and wait. Bro, why? I was trying to click view and his UI bugged inside of his other UI, and I just picked him up, and now his timer reset. Bro, why? Dude, I hate some of the UI doing that. Is so annoying. All right, well, we gotta wait a couple extra minutes now for the cockatrice, bro. I'm so sad now. So let's just wait for the magic to happen for a second so we can get plasma done. All right, anyways, peach wasp is doing its thing. Hello. All right, cool. We got plasma on another carrot. Thank you. Are you good down there, bro? Okay, he's just doing his thing, I guess. All right, I'm gonna move this over to our platter of carrots. Yeah, so I'll spawn another disco bee. I think we'll probably get disco pretty quickly, but just in case, I'll get another one in there to start its cooldown so we can try to get that out of the way, and then we can just focus on zombified and get this toxic one done as well. It's crazy. It's crazy. My screen is shaking. There is an earthquake right now, so we have a chance to get the cracked mutation on something so we can get it on our Aether fruit. As long as we get it on something, then we can move it over, but we'll see if we even get it. Also, can you turn like the camera shake off? They should probably add that as like a feature, because that be shaking a lot, dude. I get motion sick. All right, I'm gonna throw up on my screen, dude, with all that shaking. Also, how do the birthdays work? Because December 17th is not actually in 77 days, so it's definitely in-game days, but there's an in-game day like every 4 hours because you get nighttime, and then does a day go down every 4 hours? Is that how that works? I feel like that would make sense, but I don't know. I just work here, I guess. All right, anyways, our cockatrice here is about to give us the toxic mutation. He's gonna spit his nasty toxic fumes all over our plants. All right, he's spitting. We got toxic on some carrots, some sugar apples, so we're good. You're good. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Sorry for picking you up earlier, too early. Flay's about done with its cooldown here, so I gotta actually, you know what? I gotta give it another toy, but maybe Flay will come in clutch, give us disco, and then we can just move forward. And some of our disco bees are, or what am I saying, dude? Some of our chicken zombies are almost done. So Katie and Bella, we can maybe get zombified from. I'm gonna boost those guys as well. Some of our other guys are almost done as well. I think everyone can just use a toy, you know? Hopefully this will give me some of that nice, good old, zombified mutations. We can get that done out of the way. Okay, let's see what we get here. One of our disco bees are about to do their thing. If we can get disco and zombified done, then we can get ready for that nice AFK setup. So guys, don't fail me. We got to move on. We got bigger things to do. Come on. Failed. Failed. All right, they're not helping. What about the disco bees? Disco bees? Failed. All right, well, that really didn't do anything for me, and we just got another chocolate carrot that I didn't need. So thank you guys for doing nothing but making me even more sad. All right, so we just got the disco mutation applied to a carrot, so disco is done. We can go ahead and get rid of our disco bees now because they smell bad. We don't need them right now. I guess we'll max out on chicken zombies for the rest of the chicken zombies that we have to fill in, so we can try and get zombified done a little bit faster. And with that, we still have 2 pet slots. I did put a gnome down so we can try to get gnome done a little bit faster. So I guess I'll go ahead and put down some of our other AFK pets to see if we get any of these mutations done while we're waiting for our chicken zombies to get zombified. All right, so we finally had one of our chicken zombies apply the zombified mutation just now to a sugar apple. There it is. We have zombified done, which means we can go ahead and pick up all of these chicken zombies now that we have. Now, we already spawned in our griffin to get cyclonic, junkbot for oil, and gnome for the gnome mutation. So now we're gonna go ahead and spawn in the rest of our pets that we need for our AFK grind. So we're going to spawn in the lobster to get molten and meteoric. So with the lobster, I believe the molten will actually combine with flaming now to give you blazing. And then you can also, I think, combine flaming and meteoric to give you infernal or something like that. So this guy will be good for some more multiplier bonuses. Molten and meteoric are already very good, but they can also be mixed with other mutations now. We're also going to go ahead and spawn in our tranquil scarlet and our corrupt scarlet. We're going to spawn in the spriggan to get the blue mutation done, and we're going to spawn in the aromatic spaghetti sauce that we have to get aromatic done, and also get his 3 mutations, pasta, meatballs, and sauce to get the spaghetti mutation. And there we go. Those are our 8 pets that we're going to use to AFK. Once one of these guys are done, we'll probably swap in first a new lobster, so we can have 2 lobsters going, since these guys take a while to get molten and meteoric done. And then we'll start swapping these out slowly, one by one, with Spinos, and then we'll get everything moved over to our Aether fruit, and we'll have a really nice looking Aether fruit with all those mutations on it. All right, so right before I actually went to go AFK, I noticed that my gnome applied the gnome mutation to the sugar apple, which means we have another mutation done. We can go ahead and pick up the gnome, and I actually am going to go ahead and spawn in a kappa with some carrots, and then we're going to try to get the bloodlet mutation done. So I'm going to go ahead and get that kappa in there. Let's get some carrots spawned in. We have some carrots over there for bloodlet, and I guess I can put a couple over here, so that way when it travels around, it has more of a chance to give us bloodlet. I'll probably put some more down once this restocks, and that way we can get bloodlet done. Okay, the junkbot just applied oil to a carrot somewhere over here, I believe, or maybe it was one of these. Here we go. The oil carrot is right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here to our collection, and we are good with the junkbot. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the junkbot up, actually, and I'm gonna spawn in another lobster to speed up getting molten and meteoric, and now we really do have the ultimate AFK setup. Okay, we just got bloom on a carrot, which I was literally just got done recording the oil bot. the junk bot giving us oil. So our Spriggan is done. We have Bloom done, so we can actually go ahead and pick him up. And I'm going to go ahead and move this Verdant carrot over here to our collection. And I'm also going to move this Bloom carrot over here to our collection. And I guess we can go ahead and spawn in another Kappa for now to help us get the Bloodlet mutation. And once we have Bloodlet, then we will actually start spawning in the Spinos. So just checking out some progress here. I noticed we actually did get a few Bloodlet carrots done, which is perfect. So we can go ahead and add this over here to our buffet platter. There's also one over there, so that's good. We also have Molten done on a carrot, so we can put that over here as well. And I did see we got Aromatic somewhere. Here it is on this carrot, so that is another mutation done as well. And with that, we can go ahead and probably pick up the rest of these carrots, but we're good with these Kappas. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these Kappas up and get them out of the way. And it looks like we just need to get Meatball from our Spaghetti Sloth. Once we have Meatball done, he'll be done because we did get Aromatic, and we do have a sauce over here, a couple sauces over here, and pasta somewhere as well. And okay, so pretty good. We made some good progress here. We pretty much just need Cyclonic still from the Griffin. We do need Meteoric still from these lobsters, Tranquil, Corrupt, and then also we just need Meatball from our Spaghetti Sloth. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and start spawning in these Mega Spinosauruses so they can start eating away at all these mutations and getting them moved over to our Aether Fruit. We'll wait for the rest of those mutations that we don't have yet to get applied, and then we can move it all over to this one Aether Fruit here and get the show on the road. All right, so I came back from being AFK. We still have a lot of work to do. A lot of these mutations still need to be moved over to our Aether Fruit here, but I was looking around at some of our carrots and stuff, and we did get Corrupt done while I was AFK, which means we can go ahead and pick up our Corrupt Scarlet right here. Now, one of our lobsters is about done, so I'm going to try to boost it to maybe, just maybe, get Meteoric done. Where's Kiko? This one? Kiko, can we get some Meteoric done, please? Okay, that was actually Molten, and that failed anyways, but okay, it was worth a shot. But anyways, yeah, our Corrupt Scarlet is done officially, so we can go ahead and actually get another Spino placed in here to help with moving everything over to our Aether Fruit. And when I was gone, we did get a moon or a nighttime event, so we did get Moonlit, which it actually already got applied directly to the Aether Fruit here, so Moonlit's done. All right, so doing another quick check here, our Aether Fruit here does officially have Meatball on it, so Meatball is done. So we can go ahead and keep that favorited, but since Meatball is done, we have Aromatic and all of the other Spaghetti Sloth mutations on these carrots. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Spaghetti Sloth here. He is done with his job. Over here on one of these carrots, I noticed that we did finally get Cyclonic done, so we can go ahead, or I guess Cyclonic, brain fart, I guess. But anyways, Griffin is done here, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up our Griffin, and now we just need to get Meteoric still and Tranquil. I guess because of that, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another Spinosaurus here to help move over the mutations to our Aether Fruit, and I will go ahead and spawn in our Ascended Mooncat, and let's actually see the cooldown on that. Okay, so we have 358 minutes of a cooldown to possibly get, which is about 6 hours, by the way, so I don't even know if we're going to do this one because we might be done before then, but I will spawn it in just in case. But we have a 75% chance in 6 hours to get Dawnbound, but if we don't get that, then that's kind of a waste and will make me very sad. I should have spawned it in a little bit earlier, but I did have to focus on the Spinos and other mutations, but Dawnbound is really good to get. Maybe what I will do too is I will get a Dawnbound fruit, duplicate the mutation with the T-Rex, and that way we have a couple of Dawnbound mutations to use for our next fruits in the series. That way I can get it done and not have to wait that 6 hours. But just in case, I will spawn it in today in case the other mutations take forever anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and AFK the rest of this now, wait for everything to get moved over, and we'll be back once it's done. All right, so it's been about 3 or 4 hours since I went AFK last, and we did get all of the mutations moved over from our carrots, our sugar apples, so I did pick all of these up just to mark them down that we were done. And the other thing is, I will say now, the Ascended Mooncat that I have to get the Dawnbound mutation, I accidentally picked him up, but he still had about 3 hours on the cooldown. I don't know if a toy would have even boosted him enough to get to this, to get us the Dawnbound mutation, excuse me. But anyways, besides that, we have our raptors ready to try and get Amber, but before we pick this thing up, I'll go ahead and show you all the mutations we have on here. So as you can see, we have a pretty good list of mutations. The text is shrinking and looking really stretched out because we have so many. So counting these, we have 33 total mutations, and a lot of these did get combined. So if we actually go through these, we did get Cyclonic on this again, but we also have Storm Charge. Storm Charge is Maelstrom with Shocked and Static, and Maelstrom is Tempestuous and Cyclonic. So that is quite a few there. But let's go ahead and go through this real quick. So I said 33. So if we separate spaghetti, we'd be up to about 35. Ceramic would bring us to about 37, I believe. Harmonized chakra would bring us up to about 38. Gloom, 39. Paradisal, 40. Storm charged, again, this one has a lot in it. So that would be like, I think 4 other mutations to separate this one. So what did we say? Bro, I just lost count. Hold on, I'm old, man. I'm old brain. All right, so we're at about 40 with Storm Charge. This would bring us to about 44. And Infernal is actually Flaming and Molten mixed together to give us Blazing, and then Blazing mixed with Meteoric. So that's about 4 in itself as well. But since we already have this here, that's about like 3. So I think that's what, 47 mutations. And with Frozen, that'd be about 48. So this would have about 48 mutations all spread out, which is a crazy amount of mutations. The most that we've gotten so far, mainly because we do have some new pets here. We have the new Luminous mutation. We have the new Phoenix to give us Flaming, and then that mixes and gives us Infernal. And then we actually were able to get Molten again. And we could probably have gotten Meteoric again and just stacked onto this. So that is actually a crazy amount of mutations, and we could just keep getting more and more now that some of these combine. You can get them all over again. So we're gonna see if we get another mutation though by picking this up and seeing if we can get the Amber mutation. So I'm gonna go ahead and boost all of our raptors here to hopefully give us the Amber mutation. Oh, I ran out of toys. Okay, well that's fine. Most of these are boosted. All right, so without further ado, we are gonna go ahead and pick up this Aether Fruit. I wish we got Acidic, and I wish we could have gotten like Celestial. We could get Celestial right now, but kind of doubt it. Usually we don't get Celestial events, they're really rare. And then we could have also got like Aurora, and then we could have got the new Cracked mutation. But we did have some of those events, we just never got them. So I don't know, we just suck, I guess. But let's go ahead and pick up our Aether Fruit and let's see if we get Amber applied. Okay, I actually thought that was Amber for a second, but it was just this telling me that I did really good things in life, but that wasn't Amber. But anyways, here is our beautiful Aether Fruit that you literally can't see because it is so shiny and bright and it burns your eyeballs. And yeah, there it is. Now you can see a little bit better. So let's go ahead and check the value of our Aether Fruit with Steven, and hopefully this was worth it with all these mutations. There's like, what, like 48 technically? We could have got 49, but our raptors hate us. So Steven, how much is this Aether Fruit worth, man? How much would you say this thing is? And do you love us enough to give us past 1 trillion? Without further ado, let's check. Whew, okay, so this thing is 536 billion with that many mutations on it. I think this definitely would have passed 1 trillion if we had a bigger Aether Fruit. But man, that is still pretty good. However, with that many mutations, I thought this would definitely be over 1 trillion. That's crazy. All right, first things first is we're going to spawn in 7 of our Mooncats here. All right, and then next up, we're going to spawn in one of our Triceratopses. This guy is an age 9 compared to my other 2 that are age 8. So he's a little bit ahead of the other 2. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn him in. And then we're going to go ahead and place our sprinklers here. So I'm going to go ahead and place our Grandmaster Sprinkler, a Master Sprinkler, Godly, Advanced, and Basic. And then I'm going to go ahead and slap down a Sugar Glaze Seed right in that mix. And this should help it get pretty big, plus all of our Mooncats. Now, what we can also do is drag this thing over into a bunch of Mooncats to hopefully get the original Sugar Glaze to be pretty big. So let me see, can I move this? All right, I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. And we're just going to let these Mooncats mix in their abilities onto it. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I guess, you know what, since this is growing pretty quick, I can use some more watering cans on it. And then once our Triceratops here is done with this cooldown, it can just go ahead and smack this Sugar Glaze and we can get the first set of donuts done and see how big they turn out. Let's try to travel this right in between these guys. We need to get as big of a Sugar Glaze as we possibly can. Look, the cat's actually sleeping in the tree. What? All right, I'll put it in this one just to get more bonus points possibly from our Mooncats, and then we're going to put it right back in our sprinklers here. All right, then finally, a couple more watering cans, and this thing should be done growing. I wish I could drag the Mooncats over here. I know a lot of people were telling me to get the pancake so I can have them all focus on a section. I actually did not get the pancake unlocked. I just had the pancake mole. But yeah, that'll be one of the things I focus on unlocking next, so we can always have our Mooncats target one area for our plants. All right, our Triceratops is... Oh my... All right, well, it looks like we got a pretty big donut growing in. It looks like everyone's doing their job. Let's see what the Triceratops does to help. All right, kaboom. That was it. That was 33 minutes of growth. All right, so our Sugar Glaze is done growing. Why is it green? I thought it was going to be like a chocolate one, but I guess we got someone's like boogers. All right, well, we're good here with our Triceratopses, so we're going to go ahead and use some sprays here so we can get 5 mutations applied to our Sugar Glaze and then get a butterfly to turn that into rainbow for us. So we're going to go ahead and use one of these Honey Glaze sprays. We're going to use a pollinated a chocolate, a shocked, and then we're just gonna use a wet just to get another one out of the way. And there we go. We have 5 mutations on our sugar glaze here. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and trowel this so it's facing this way. This is the one time a chocolate spray makes something look a little bit better, a little bit more appetizing. All right, but anyways, I'm gonna favorite this real quick just so I don't accidentally pick that up. And then we're gonna go ahead and spawn in 1 queen bee here and a butterfly. So that way our queen bee will cool down our butterfly and convert this thing to rainbow. I'll take all those 5 mutations and convert it to rainbow. And then over here, my main account, I'm going to spawn in a queen bee as well. And then we're going to spawn in my kitsune. So that way, by the time this butterfly over here converts this to rainbow, then our kitsune over here will be ready, and then we can apply chakra or foxfire chakra to our sugar glaze. But for now, I do need to unfavorite this so the butterfly can actually convert these mutations, and we gotta wait about like 17 more minutes. Yeah, so I'll be right back. All right, so our queen bee's about done with her cooldown, and she's about to cool down our butterfly, and hopefully our butterfly can take these and apply rainbow quick, because for some reason my queen bee's timer on my main account bugged, and it is now lined up with this account. So it's about to cool down our kitsune over here as soon as this happens. So queen bee, cool down butterfly. Butterfly is now cooled down. Let's get rainbow quick before the kitsune comes. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. All right, we're good. We got it just in time. Our sugar glaze is now rainbow. The kitsune is stealing it. And now we have rainbow and chakra done. All right, I'm going to get out of his way. It's very bright and in my eyes. I can't see anything. All right, so since this is good, we're going to go ahead and favorite this just so we don't touch it. And we're going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly. And then let's go ahead and apply some sprays to this thing. So we're going to reapply that shocked onto there. We're going to apply pollinated. We're going to apply fried, honey glazed, burnt, and chocolate. And then over here on my main account, we're going to apply cloud touch, we're going to apply verdant, and we're also going to apply wet, so that way our kappas have an easier time to apply bloodlet to our big sugar glaze here. All right, so that brings us up to 11 mutations on our sugar glaze, so it's looking pretty good here. So first thing I think I'm going to go ahead and do is plant a carrot seed, and we're going to put the shocked spray on our carrot seed here. All right, there we go. Our carrot is now shocked, so then I can go ahead and spawn in our Raiju, which will give us a mutation done right off the bat. He will eat this shocked carrot and apply static to our sugar glaze right away, so we can get that mutation done and out of the way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees as well, so we can work on getting the disco mutation added. We're going to spawn in our tranquil scarlet and our corrupted scarlet. Even though we already have verdant done, since they have tranquil and corrupt, we can get tranquil and corrupt mutations on our big sugar glaze here. All right, so that brings us to 5 pets here. Looks pretty good so far. I am going to go ahead and spawn in my chicken zombies next, just so we can get zombified done and out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in a kappa here, so our kappa can attempt to get the sugar glaze bloodlet. And that's good. We have all of our pets ready to go, and now we just have to wait for all of their cooldowns to go by. Okay, our Raiju just charged that carrot and ate it so fast I wasn't even ready for a second there, but he did apply the static mutation onto our sugar glaze here, so that is another mutation done and out of the way. All right, so what I think I'm going to go ahead and do next is I'm going to go ahead and spawn in this corrupted kitsune so we can start working on getting a corrupt chakra or corrupt foxfire chakra and add that on to our sugar glaze. All right, and then we're also going to wait around here because our disco bees are about done with their cooldowns, and hopefully we'll get disco applied right away. Usually they're pretty good about getting us disco. Let's see it. All right, one's going off. All right, easy. That first disco bee there instantly gave us the disco mutation. So we're getting some good mutations done. All right, so since that is good and out of the way, let's see. I think I'm going to spawn in another kappa to assist getting this thing to turn bloodlet. And then I guess, let me see what else I have in here. We don't really need our cooked owls today because we did get burnt on it already and fried. All right, I guess really the only other pet we need at the moment will be the pterodactyls. So I'm going to spawn one in here, and then I think what I'll do is whenever our pterodactyl here is about to be done with his cooldown, we're just going to grow a bunch of carrots back here like last second, so that way he can try to apply tempestuous to one of these. So in case he doesn't get tempestuous on the first try on our sugar glaze, all hope won't be lost. We can get it on a carrot and then just use a Spinosaurus to move it over. All right, let's go. One of our chicken zombies just applied the zombified mutation onto our sugar glaze, so that's another mutation done. We move these chicken zombies out of the way. They've done their job. All right, so next up is our pterodactyl. His cooldown is about done, so I'm going to quickly place a couple of these carrot seeds down just to see if we can stack up and maybe get tempestuous on one of these. All right, so let's see if our pterodactyl gives us tempestuous. It'd be nice if he could just give it to us directly on the sugar glaze, but if not, we'll use a Spinosaurus to move over mutations later onto this. All right, let's see it. He went all carrot mode. He didn't even go for the sugar glaze, but one of them did get tempestuous right here. So let me go ahead and favorite this real quick, and then I'm going to pick up the rest of these. All right, there we go. So tempestuous is on this carrot, which means our pterodactyl did do his job. So I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. He is good to go. And I guess we'll go ahead and unfavorite the carrot, and then we're going to put down a Spinosaurus. So this guy will be able to eat the carrot and then move it over to our sugar glaze. Okay, so I knew something felt like it was missing, like I didn't do one of our pets that we normally do by now. And you know what? There is something missing, which is our spaghetti sloth. We gotta get this guy to spawn in so he can give us sauce, pasta, and meatballs so we can get the spaghetti mutation added onto our sugar glaze. I don't know how good a spaghetti sugar glaze donut would taste, but our spaghetti sloth sure thinks it would be good. Alright, so we have quite a bit of stuff about to happen. So first off, our Spinosaurus here is going to eat from our carrot, and hopefully it'll just move tempestuous over right away. Let's see. Let's see which mutation it eats. Okay, well, it ate wet, which we didn't need, so good thing we have our other Spinosaurus as backup for right now. So we're just gonna wait for that to happen. And then also, hopefully, our corrupt scarlet here will apply the corrupt mutation to our sugar glaze. But it is nighttime now, so we should be able to get moonlit, and hopefully after we'll get a celestial event so we can get celestial added to our sugar glaze. But anyways, there we go. That Spinosaurus has officially added tempestuous over to our sugar glaze, so we can go ahead and pick up our Spinosauruses for now, since we don't really need them to move anything else over. I'm gonna pick up that carrot, and then we just gotta wait for these guys to apply their mutations to our sugar glaze here. So let's see, hopefully the corrupt scarlet does corrupt. Come on, please, get it done. Failed. Okay, well, we're not going to get that one done yet, I guess. But we are going to get Moonlit done. So there we go. We now have Moonlit added to our sugar glaze here and tempestuous. So that's another 2 mutations done and out of the way. All right, Corrupted Kitsune, please give us your mutation. Please. There we go. Corrupted Kitsune applied Corrupt Chakra to Sugar Glaze. So he is done and out of the way. And now we have Harmonized Chakra added onto this thing. All right, our Spaghetti Sloth is doing something. Let's see what mutation he adds to our Sugar Glaze first. He's pretty much a guaranteed pet to give us mutations. So let's see what the first one we get is. All right, we have sauce added to our sugar glaze now. So that is good to see. And once he applies his other 2, we'll have the full spaghetti mutation done. All right, our spaghetti sloth is heading over to hopefully apply the next mutation that we need. Hopefully it's not the same one. All right, there we go. So we got meatball added to sugar glaze. So now we have sauce and meatball on our sugar glaze here. As you can see, here's sauce, here's meatball. So once he adds pasta, those will all turn into spaghetti. Oh, wow. For the first time, I think, in one of these videos, we're actually getting an Aurora event. I mean, I guess we used to get events like this all the time, and I think we had the Aurora before when Brighter would do all the admin events. And it's ending. Well, no Aurora mutation. I guess I'll trowel this back. Okay, well, I literally just got back from being AFK, and I just came back to the spaghetti sloth applying pasta to our sugar glaze here. So let's go ahead and take a look if anything else happened. All right, so yeah, now we have spaghetti because we had all 3 of the spaghetti sloth mutations applied. It still looks like we did not get corrupt while I was AFK, so we still have to wait for corrupt to be applied, and we still have to wait for bloodlet to get applied. But our spaghetti sloth is at least done. All right, so finally we got another mutation done. Our Scarlet finally applied the corrupt mutation onto our sugar glaze. So we can go ahead and pick him up. And now we have corrupt added onto here and tranquil. So we have those 2 done. It's pretty much only up to our kappas now to try and get bloodlet. I always spawn these guys in first, and then they literally struggle the entire time to convert wet to bloodlet. But hopefully they do that, and then once they get this thing bloodlet, or hopefully get it bloodlet, we'll then apply wet again and then convert wet over to frozen. All right, well, big rip. We've been waiting for our kappas to give us bloodlet for like 2 or 3 hours now, and they haven't. And then we got a frost event, so this thing is frozen and we can't get bloodlet now. All right, well, we didn't get bloodlit today, but we did get frozen. I wanted to get frozen and bloodlit though, but you know, sometimes you can never win at these things. And then yeah, it's also been hours and we haven't had any other events happen. We have our raptor spawned in, so we're gonna try to pick up our sugar glaze and get amber applied. But in total, we do have 19 mutations, and if you spread some of these out like tempestuous, we would have 20. Spaghetti, we would have 22. And harmonized chakra would bring us to 24 mutations. So if we get amber, that'll be 25. Without further ado, let's go ahead and pick this thing up. Oh, look at that. We actually did get amber. So yeah, this thing technically has 20 mutations on it, or 25. It, for some reason, shrunk in size when I picked it up. Sometimes the big plants do that. The donut, maybe just for holding purposes, it did that. But hopefully it didn't actually break the size of it, and then it's going to break the value. I don't know, but we'll give it a shot. So thanks to our raptors for helping us out. All right, well, without further ado, I'm going to check the value of this thing with Steven. Hopefully it's still good. I don't know if the size actually went down or if it's just a visual bug like it used to be, but we're going to go ahead and check with Steven and see how much our sugar glazed donut is worth. So Steven, what would you give me for this thing today? Okay, yeah, I think the size stayed the same because this is worth 209 billion, which is actually really good for missing some of the mutations like paradisal and also ceramic. If we did get all of the admin mutations on this thing, I think it would have been close to 1 trillion or even passing 1 trillion, and we could have even gotten it bigger. But yeah, this is actually a pretty good price for the sugar glazed donut, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. So, all right, so we're gonna start out, of course, with all of our moon cats like we normally do. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is stack some sprinklers like right here. We're gonna do all of our sprinklers, master, godly, basic, and advanced, of course. But then we're gonna go ahead and place our mushrooms close to this group of sprinklers to hopefully have the effects be applied to them. There's not a lot of room to work with here, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, all of our moon cats are sleeping, but they're like not in range of our mushroom. Oh wow, they're like all over here. I guess what I'll do is I'll quickly try and place them in this group of moon cats to see if that will take effect on any of them, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place some more sprinklers right in this stash here. All right, now it's just a waiting game to see which mushrooms become the biggest out of all these, and then I guess we'll pick our mushroom. I don't really know how big the mushrooms can get. I don't think they can get as big as some other fruits in this game, but we're gonna go ahead and wait this out and see which one becomes the biggest, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of compare some mushrooms here to get the top weighted one. I don't know if it matters if the mushroom is bigger like this. I'm not sure which one will actually affect the weight. So I guess what I'm gonna go ahead and do is there's this taller one right here, and I'm gonna compare it to one of these ones that have a bigger base to it. So I guess this like orange one in here will be a good choice. All right, let's see. Can I grab this one specifically? Yep. All right, we got that one. And then I'm gonna compare it to one of these because this one's a pretty wide one. So I'm gonna pick up these smaller ones carefully. All right, I'm gonna pick up this one, and then that will be a good comparison here. All right, so this one's 33 compared to this one that's a little bit taller, it's 30. So yeah, it looks like the width matters more for the price. And this one I think is our widest one, so I think we're gonna go with this one. It's not as big as I was hoping, but it's the biggest one, I think, in weight that we got. So this one will be our mushroom that we try to get every mutation on today. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply our 5 mutations on this thing so we can go ahead and get it to rainbow. And actually, right before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get our queen bee ready and our butterfly ready, just so their cooldowns can start. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add shock to this. I'm gonna add pollinated. I'm going to add chocolate. We'll use a honey sprinkler. We're gonna add a cloud touch mutation onto this just so we have that 5th mutation. And just like that, it should update. We are good. We now have 5 mutations on our mushroom. And once this queen bee cools down, it will cool down our butterfly, and then this mushroom will turn into a rainbow mushroom. Okay, so this may or may not be good timing. We have about 1 minute left for our queen bee to cool down our butterfly and get this thing rainbow. And within that, we do have a heat wave event. So I'm hoping that this heat wave stays so we can get this thing rainbow. We can instantly get sun-dried applied to it. Because as you see, we just got sun-dried, but we got to get rainbow before we're supposed to get sun-dried. So I need this queen bee to hurry up so we can get sun-dried done and out of the way, like right now. I'm going to go ahead and also make sure I have some more tanning mirrors right next to this thing. All right, there we go. The butterfly is now cooled down from the queen bee and is about to apply rainbow, and hopefully this event does not end in like 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Our mushroom should now be rainbow, which it is, and now we just got to get a heat wave to hit one of these tanning mirrors so we can make sure that this thing gets sun-dried back. Please. There we go, and perfect. We made it. We made it. We got sun-dried applied back onto our rainbow mushroom. We're good. We have 2 of those mutations done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is reapply the chocolate mutation onto here with shocked, pollinated, and a honey sprinkler to get us honey glaze, just like we did at the start. All right, there we go. And then on our main account, we're going to apply the amber mutation and also the cloud touch mutation. Now, I do have the chilled spray right here, but we're not going to do chilled just yet because we're going to try and work on ceramic first. So in the meantime, I'm going to have my main account leave, and hopefully we can get this thing to ceramic before we have our main account rejoin. Otherwise, we'll just go straight for frozen. All right, but just like that, our mushroom is looking pretty good. We are up to 8 mutations on it, and to go ahead and add to the fun of this, we're going to go ahead and start spawning in all of our pets. So we're going to get our disco beast to get that disco mutation applied. We're going to use our chicken zombies to get that zombified mutation applied. 2 cooked owls to get either cooked or burnt applied. And then we're going to do 1 scarlet, but we're also going to do 1 mimic octopus, just so that way we can hopefully get a 100% chance to get one of these other mutations. Oh, you know what? Actually, before I use this bird to get verdant and then turn sun-dried into paradisal, I want this sun-dried to go to ceramic before it goes to paradisal. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pick up our scarlet for now. And I am going to go ahead and use our sea turtle because thinking about it, I do need to get wet on this anyways in order to get this thing clay. So I'm gonna see if this event gives us wet or if our sea turtle gives us wet. And as long as we get one of the 2, I think we're good. And then we just gotta wait for a sandstorm to pass through. All right, usually the disco bees come in clutch. Let's see if that's true for today. 1 disco bee's going off. Zephy? Let's go, dude. The disco bees, they just know their game, man. Look at that. We already got disco applied to the mushroom. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead then and pick up this other disco bee. And I guess in the meantime, we'll just get some more sea turtles just to get this thing wet quickly because we really want to get that clay done and then this thing can turn to ceramic. Okay, our sea turtle just applied wet to the mushroom, which is perfect timing because I got to pick these guys up quick because our mimic octopus is about to mimic one of our other pets. So now we can either get cooked or burnt, or we'll be able to get zombified pretty much instantly with the mimic octopus. So let's see which one he decides to mimic. Okay, he's doing something. We'll see it. Okay, well, I thought the mimic octopus was a 100%, but he literally just failed. So I guess the mimic octopus is not a 100%. It could still fail, and I guess it just picks up on the rates of what your other pet's chances are. So I guess that makes sense. I think if it was a 100% success rate every time, it would be a little broken. All right, cooked owl applied burnt to mushroom. We now have burnt on our mushroom. Thank you, cooked owl. I wonder if one day we'll actually get the cooked mutation instead of burnt. It seems to be very, very rare. Oh, and chicken zombie applied zombified. So you know what? For once in my life, maybe I won't be so sad. And besides that, we could get verdant, but we're just gonna wait that one out until we can get that sun dry to turn into ceramic. I don't want to mess with that. I want to try to get ceramic first this time because that's the one we'd be struggling on. All right, so we have a windy event going on, so we can hopefully get this mushroom windstruck added onto it since our dino eggs are still needing a lifetime to open. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna try to trowel this mushroom to the front of my garden here because for some reason, and other people noticed this too, I saw in the comments, that whenever you move the mushroom to the front of the garden, for some reason, you usually get windstruck a lot easier when it's up here. Now, maybe we're all just tripping, but I don't know. It seems to work for me in the past, and it seems like it works for other people. So hopefully this helps. Yeah, that didn't do anything. All right, we have another windy event coming through, so we're blessed again. Hopefully we can get windstruck done. This one should be easy, but for some reason it's very hit or miss for us. Okay, the event just ended. Let's see. Okay, we got windstruck. Let's go, dude. Maybe this corner is the blessed corner, but windstruck is added. Now we just gotta hope that we get a sandstorm soon and a tornado twisted event. right, so I have been AFKing on and off, and it's been like 3 hours. And of course, when I went AFK this last time, there was a tornado, there was a moon event, and there was another heat wave. So I think the game just doesn't like me, and it thought that I left for good. So then it started doing stuff. Looking back at the clips, the tornado literally was like on our mushroom, but it did not convert our windstruck. It did not give us twisted because our windstruck did not mix and convert to the tempestuous. Oh, but hold on. Wait a minute, this is perfect timing. We just got another tornado event to start. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and get our mushroom here to get twisted on it so we can get that to mix in and give us that mutation. However, AFKing though, we have not gotten one sandstorm, and it's been like hours and hours and hours of doing this. Oh, there's 2 tornadoes on this. Hold on. But the fact that there hasn't been a sandstorm within like the 3 or 4 hours I've been recording this video, I don't know if it's going to be possible today to get ceramic. We just need sandy in order to, we have everything else. We're ready. Oh, and there we go. We did just get tempestuous. So we just mixed twisted and windy, and now we have that. That's a good extra multiplier. Yeah, I guess we'll wait around for like another 30 minutes. But if we don't get sandy, I think I'm going to go ahead and just convert that sun-dried to paradisal and convert that wet to frozen. All right, so I have still been waiting hours on end, and we don't have friend-bound, and we also have not gotten one sandstorm throughout the hours of us recording this video, which is very unfortunate. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward then with just turning the sand-dried into paradisal and the wet into frozen, and see what the value is after this. I wanted to at least get ceramic and celestial on this as well, but we're almost there, and we haven't gotten either events in hours and hours of waiting. So I guess what we're gonna go ahead and do is spawn in our scarlets here, and just in case we'll spawn in our mimic octopus just to help them out if they don't make any progress. And I'm gonna go ahead and give them all a pet toy to hopefully boost their chances. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the chilled spray to our mushroom. So now our mushroom is officially frozen instead of wet. All right, and just like that, our Scarlet applied Verdant to our mushroom, which gives us Paradisal as it combined with the Sun-Dried mutation. All right, I'm gonna pick all of these guys up, and we are now at 14 mutations on this thing. Now, if you expand some of the ones that combined, we'd be at 16 mutations. Now, I only really needed to get Ceramic on this, and then maybe Celestial and Aurora. So we're pretty much missing 3 legit mutations, but we're almost there. But within hours of sitting here, I didn't get any of those events, which is crazy. Now, of course, this doesn't include all the admin ones, but I think the creator program is supposed to resume very soon, so we can start getting those in these videos again. It's time to check with Steven the price of our mushroom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. And Steven, what is our mushroom valued at? All right, so our mushroom is worth 5 billion. I think this could have definitely been a lot more if the size of this thing was bigger. I don't really know the max size you can get of a mushroom. I know I've seen some very, very tall ones before, some very big ones, but for this one only being, I don't even know, probably around 30 to 40 kilograms, that's pretty good. I mean, 5 bill is pretty good with all these mutations. There's definitely other plants that would have gotten you more. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started growing this giant pine cone. So I actually placed some sprinklers down a second ago. So I guess we could just use our stack of sprinklers right here because we have all 4 of our sprinklers already in there. And with that, I am going to spawn in all of our mooncats because, you know, we got to do that. We got to get a big giant pine cone. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out some watering cans and try to get this thing to grow faster. And I have about 700 watering cans left. We're running out of materials, man. Jandel, please, we need that creator program to open back up. I need some help out here. All right, our giant pine cone is looking pretty big. I don't really know if there's only one that grows on this or multiple. This is the first time I'm growing this thing. Also, while we grow this giant pine cone, big shout out to my uncle because when I was a toddler, I didn't want to get out of the swimming pool and I got really upset at my uncle for telling me to get out of the swimming pool. So I threw a giant pine cone at him. Thankfully, my aim as a toddler was not good because it didn't even get near him, but I got in trouble for doing that. Our giant pine cone plant is grown. Now, I don't actually know where the pine cones grow on this. I assume it's just on these branches, but these are some really high branches up here. We have giant pine cone life form spotted. Oh, that's a big pine cone. Wow, those really are giant. I don't know if it's supposed to be that big of a pine cone. All right, to help us out, I'm going to bring my main account over here that looks exactly like me, and I'm gonna grow all, and let's see how big this pine cone actually is. All right, let's see it. What happened to the plant? Which one do I even take? Why? This gold one might be the one we want to get. I mean, I can't really tell anything else. I can't tell what's going on. All right, I'm going to favorite this big gold one right here. All right, I'm going to carefully. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, this gold one is definitely the biggest one. It's just this entire pine cone right here. All right, so we have our giant pine cone. I'm gonna go ahead and use our... Oh, like I gotta click like up here. There we go. All right. Oh, that's blinding. All right, there's our shock spray mutation. I'm gonna save the cloud touch. We'll do pollinated. We'll do chocolate. And then we'll have our main account actually help with putting chilled on this. All right, so now we have technically 5 mutations, but gold does not work to convert this to rainbow. So before I give it the last mutation, I'm gonna pick up all these mooncats. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in a butterfly and a queen bee. So the queen bee will give the butterfly's cooldown done 6 minutes faster. And we're gonna go ahead and add a honey sprinkler down next to this thing. All right, so now we have shock, chocolate, honey glaze, pollinated, and chilled. Those are the 5 mutations that we'll need for this butterfly to convert. And then we'll have this thing rainbow, and then we can move forward. But wow, is this pine cone big? I did not expect this. I guess we can compare the size real quick of all of the other giant pine cones we got. So this is the next biggest one, and it's about the same size. It actually might be a little bit smaller. So I think we made the right choice here. All right, well, now we're gonna wait for these guys to do their cooldown so we can get rainbow. All right, so our queen bee is about to cool down our butterfly so we can get our giant pine cone rainbow. And also, look at this. It actually rained and I got this thing frozen, which like never happens. I never have that kind of luck with the wet mutation applying from rain. But the one time I do it, we're not ready yet. All right, there we go. Our giant pine cone is now rainbow. It still looks very gold, but it's rainbow. Just picture that as a rainbow. We're gonna pick up these 2 pets here, and we're gonna get down to some business now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees to get the disco mutation applied to this thing. We're gonna spawn in 2 cooked owls to either get cooked or burnt. We're gonna spawn in 2 chicken zombies to get zombified, which also there is a new infected mutation, which if I was able to get admin mutations, hopefully soon we could get those again. We could get another zombie mutation. And since I already am gonna be able to put cloud touch on this from a spray, we're gonna do a scarlet, and then we're going to do a sea turtle. That way we can get verdant, and then the sea turtle can apply wet so we can get this thing back to being frozen. So there's all of our pet spawns. We're gonna go ahead and use our spray mutations here. So I have some cloud touch spray. We're gonna, there we go. All right, cloud touched. We're gonna put chocolate on it. We're gonna put shocked and pollinated on it, and we're gonna use a honey sprinkler to get honey glazed on this thing. I guess right there should work. There we go. All right, and then our main account is going to apply chilled to our big pine cone here. All right, there we go. So we got amber, and then we're gonna apply chilled. All right, so there we go. We now have amber and we have chilled on this and cloud touch. So we're up to 8 mutations on our giant pine cone. All right, so I'm leaving on my main account. So we're gonna wave goodbye. Thank you, main account. You look as handsome as I do on my alt account. And now is the time we wait for these pets to do stuff and we wait for some events to happen. Ah, sea turtle applied wet to giant pine cone. All right, well, this is now frozen at least. Oh, let's go. Our disco bee just applied disco to our giant pine cone. We got disco, so I'm happy about that. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our disco bees now that that's done. And we'll increase our cooked owls and our chicken zombies since those are more difficult to get. So let's go ahead and put a chicken zombie down. Let's put another cooked owl down and we should be good. Our chicken zombie just applied zombified to our giant pine cone. At least, I guess there's a giant pine cone that's growing inside our giant pine cone I gotta pick up. Okay, there we go. So we got zombified on our giant pine cone, which we actually got that one before we got cooked or burnt and before we got verdant. So with that though, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another scarlet to increase our verdant chances. And I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in, I think I could spawn in, what, 2 more cooked owls? Yeah, there we go. All right, so that way we can get the final pet mutations done on this thing. Oh, nighttime. We can get moonlit on this. That's perfect. I can't pick up these at the top, so I'm just gonna wait. Let's go ahead and unfavorite this so we can get other mutations on it. And let's see, do I have any more night staffs? No, I don't. I only had the 1. All right, hopefully we get moonlit. Oh, perfect. Is that the big? That's the big guy. Big guy now has moonlit applied. All right, we just got lucky and a meteor shower just spawned in so we could get celestial on our giant pine cones. I don't know if we have a star crawler underneath this thing. I think we do. Hello? It's kind of hard to see in there. I want to say we have a, yeah, I see it's right there. And I guess we'll get our trowel ready so in case it decides to target this one, we can move this. We can either press C to cancel if it's going to the correct one. If it's not, we're gonna move it over to this one quick. And hopefully this works. Hopefully we can get celestial on this. Okay, that might have just ruined it. Wait, I saw it flicker. Let's go, we got celestial. All right, We haven't had Celestial on one of these in a while, and one of our pets is about to do something. Okay, we failed Burnt, but I'm glad we at least got Celestial. Hook us up with the Verdant Mutation and Burnt, and then hook us up with some better events, man. Oh, let's go. You just had to ask nicely, I guess. Alright, so while I was AFK, we finally got Windstruck applied to our giant pine cone. I really want to try to get a Twisted event so we can combine Windstruck with Twisted to get that new mutation. And our cooked owls are still struggling, man. We still haven't gotten burnt on our giant pine cone here. Now, they applied it to this one. They applied it to one up there. Excuse me. Anyways, they're applying it to everyone but the big one, so I'm just gonna let these sit here, and then hopefully in a minute, they'll all just target the big one, and then we can finally have Burnt done. Okay, so we just got a heat wave to spawn in, which is perfect, so we can get this Verdant to turn into Paradisal, but we gotta get these tanning mirrors to get some heat. I'm gonna put a couple more down just so we don't miss our chance of doing this. And there we go. They're being affected by the heat wave, and that should give us, yep, there we go, we got Paradisal, and I don't think it stacks anymore, it's sun-dried. We're also still waiting to get Burnt or cooked. If we would get sun-dried again, this would be 15 mutations, but once we get Burnt on here, it should be about 15, and then hopefully we can get Drenched. I really want to try to get Drenched and Sandy on this, and also Twisted. Okay, I just missed it on the recording, but we finally got the Burnt mutation on our giant pine cone. That took quite a long time. We did it. We finally have every pet mutation on here. So this thing is looking really good. I really want to see if we can try and get Drenched on this and if we can get Sandy on it. Those would be really two good ones to have on this, and Twisted. If we can convert Twisted and Windstruck into that new Tempest mutation, whatever it's called, so we can get this thing completely maxed out minus the admin events. Oh, okay, all right, we got another sandstorm blowing through. Hopefully we can get the Sandy mutation added on. I'm gonna quickly get some sprinklers down on here to hopefully increase our chances. There we go. And let's see if we can get Sandy. I don't know if any other part of this thing is Sandy. Yeah, so sun-dried.
Were you recording?
All right, so we got Sandy on it though. You didn't get to see that. There's probably a jump cut there, but yeah, we did officially get Sandy on here. So we do have Frozen, but I want to see if I can get that Sandy to turn into clay, and then we can get this thing ceramic possibly. I'm gonna put some sea turtles down just to see if they'll get this thing wet again. And then we can get this to clay, and then we could possibly get this to ceramic so we can stack on that mutation, but we'll see what happens. I don't know if these guys will convert it because we already have Frozen, but it's worth a shot. Let's see if anything happens. All right, so after waiting around for like an hour, all of my sea turtles did not apply wet to this giant pine cone. I don't even know if they applied it to any of the other pine cones. Okay, it looks like they did. There's some of these that they applied it to, but it kept failing on the giant pine cone. And I don't know if that's because I already have Frozen on it, but I feel like there was probably a chance where they could have still gotten Sandy to turn into clay. But anyways, in total, we have 16 mutations on our giant pine cone. The only two that we are missing, well, besides Sandy turning into ceramic, would be Twisted, which would have mixed with Windstruck for that new mutation, and then also Drenched. But we pretty much have gotten all the other possible mutations that you can get without any admin help besides those two. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and collect our giant pine cone, and here it is, our giant mutated pine cone. So without further ado, let's get the value. Steven, what are we looking at today? 122 billion. Now, if we actually got all of the admin mutations on it, I can only imagine that this thing would probably have hit the trillions mark. So if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like for the giant pine cone, and also let me know in the comments what you think the value would be on this thing if it had every single admin mutation on it as well.